In South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We're coming to you live, studio. I don't know. Something's happening.
Yeah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
We're Twist Gaming, and tonight is our finale of Twitch Plays Middara by...
Succubus.
Say it right, Joshua.
Succubus?
You literally said it the same.
I don't remember how to say it wrong anymore.
I've
been shamed so much!
The Motley laugh.
Well, anyways, this is our finale of Twitch Plays Middara, the Unintentional Malum Act 1. We've been playing this game for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Over a year at this point, I think, right? Yeah, so. Yeah, it's been over a year because I went remote because I was starting my school classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah?
We're finishing it up now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? This is a part of our lives.
This game has been so much fun, and I really, really enjoyed the story. Like, I didn't really think that there was going to be an end to it. So, like, tonight is, like, I know it's
She thought it was the game that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends. But tonight it ends.
So people started singing and not knowing what it was.
Nice on-camera transition there. Josh, what happened on the last episode of Twitch Plays Middara?
We fought an extra big, extra mean Soul Butcher.
Was he really mean?
We killed it in one turn.
What do you mean? What do you mean by we, Joshua?
I did 3 damage, and then Matt did 297 damage.
Wait, how much damage did Joshua do?
3.
It was enough. It was just enough to kill him.
How much damage did Elsie do?
None.
Like 25?
She did none technically. She assisted.
Oh.
She got like she got the hockey assist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something. Didn't do direct damage, but that's cool.
I did 1% of the damage. I'm in the 1%.
You're in the 1%. Yeah. All right, and Anne's just a loser. Anyways, so we concluded that fight. We restored, and then it's time to fight.
We found Lakshmi.
We found Lakshmi. I don't know what you said, but it wasn't Lakshmi. We bought a bunch of gear. A lot of stuff happened. We had a stressful time building because technically all the adventurers are available for this next fight. So we did a lot of stuff off camera that we're probably not going to even show, but I will send everyone the link now to the gear grids that you can check out for the
We didn't take pictures of the extra characters.
No, yeah, we only took pictures of your stuff. So you're okay there, but yeah, lots of stuff going on. So
we made some executive decisions for Twitch.
We did, and they're going to be very beneficial for you. So you're welcome. What can I say except...
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So what did we do for them? We gave them.
Oh, you want to get into that now? Okay. So yeah, you had just enough skill points to get some low-level stuff. So we got you a new familiar, which gives you 2 extra health, which is nice.
Because you guys are low on health.
We got you Nirvana's Mark, which heals you 1 at the beginning of your turn.
Oh, they can switch out the
body
accessory for
they
the
need
cloak.
I thought we were doing the spray for them.
We have to buy the spray.
That's
we can't
fine.
do that.
We can use Anne's money. She's got enough.
90 gold.
Yeah, Anne's got enough. Oh, no, she has 69. Look at the...
I have like 269. Why do you...
No, you don't. You have 69 gold.
Because you bought the thingy. That costs 175
I
gold.
400.
No, you spent some of it.
Yeah, you already spent some of it, Anne.
You spent upgrade stuff.
Look at the... Do we need to sell anything else, Josh?
I could sell some more stuff. Do we not have gold in between all of us?
I'm pointing to where the gold is.
Sorry. Twitch had 108.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're fine.
Cool.
So can I have a pencil?
Yeah.
So they're down to 18 gold.
All right. So then we also bought you guys the Salvation Umbrella because we kind of cheated a little bit. So the Salvation Umbrella is this blurry umbrella here that gives you the ability to, during the prepare phase of an encounter, pick an effect and place the token on this card. You have immunity to that effect. So the Shadow Lord gives out disease, like candy. And lucky for you, you don't want no candy. But that's it. That's what you got.
Yep.
So that works nicely for me. I picked up Forebode, which is going to allow me to re-roll, as well as Fortuitous Homicide, which is exhaust to counter. And then I just upgraded a bunch of weapons and armor and stuff on my character. Josh, what did you get?
I got a new piece of armor. I got the Carapace of Attunement, which actually reduces my armor by 1, but it gives me a conviction upgrade of gray. But I also did a core upgrade to double my conviction upgrade, so I have 2 gray for conviction now. So I can actually take some magic damage and actually have a chance. I got the new shield that we picked up before, but that was last time. And then I picked up Salvation, which is just like your umbrella. I get to choose a status effect, put it on here, and be immune to it. So screw you. I'm not getting disease.
And Anne, what did you pick up?
So I have to say, and I want to take this opportunity to say this, like throughout the game, look, I'm sitting here kvetching about my money because I haven't spent a lot of money. I was really hoping that endgame, the items were going to be expensive, but really, really good. And I was incredibly disappointed with what the endgame items are. I kept, for example, to illustrate, I kept my 15 gold coin cloak that I think was a starter item because there just wasn't any other accessory that made sense for my character or anything that was significantly better that I would spend the money on. And I had the money. So I do want to really highlight that. I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah, I think the accessories were kind of the least impactful late in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, the new accessories they made other builds possible.
Yeah.
They really didn't change.
They didn't enhance current builds.
Yeah, they didn't have enhanced versions of themselves. So it was just more of, oh, you can do a different build with this.
You expect things to be upgrades for endgame as opposed to different mixes.
But pretty much everything, the accessories and the relics were the two where that was more about build base, and then your armor and your weapons and your cores were more about upgrade to your defense.
Given that we've got to read 800 pages of
Leather
text.
didn't have an upgrade.
Yeah, Morbid Leather doesn't have a direct upgrade. But given that we've got 800 pages of text and a boss fight to read.
A boss fight to read?
So what I did was I upgraded both of my weapons. I upgraded my core. I bought the Stylograph of Evan Rule, which is a follow-up to Inflict Condemn. It's a once per encounter. I figured if this was the last and final boss fight that would be something. And then I took Quick Flow, which is during the follow-up step of your attack, I can make another attack, and then I have Mend, which will give me heal token.
So which relics are you starting with, Anne?
I'm going to be starting with the black ticket. No, I have one too many on there, Josh. Oh, you gave it to me, so I know. Okay. I'm starting with Badman's Book of Baddies, Badman's Locket, which will give me a lot of summon ability, my Doom Break, and that Stylograph, which I plan on, once I use that Stylograph, to trade it out for the black ticket, which gives me a counter and a dodge.
Okay. Time for reading?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Yeah, she gets 4 relics because she's got the angelic... Oh, no, this Seraphim.
No, the Seraphim.
Seraphoni's sidekick, yeah.
Yeah, the Seraphoni sidekick. I like that.
We're starting on a safe passage?
Yes, safe passage.
All right.
Page
Which
446.
Fofo 6. After shoving newly purchased items into her bag, Nightingale watched as Lakshmi packed up and turned to leave.
Wait!
Nightingale held a hand out toward the gatekeeper.
What are you going to do? Is it dangerous out here? Certainly.
Lakshmi locked a set of eyes on Nightingale while another set darted around, keeping an eye out for danger.
Though, selling gear to adventurers in need has always led me to dangerous places. I've never been somewhere quite like this. Aren't you worried you'll be attacked or get lost or...
Nightingale was cut off by Lakshmi before she could finish listing off all the horrible things that could happen down in the Eyrie.
You needn't worry. No harm will befall me. The keeper of this domain has assured me safe passage.
Lakshmi held up a single finger. Nightingale thought she saw a wink, but it easily could have simply been one of her eyes blinking out of sync with the other.
You mean the Shadow Lord?
Nightingale's jaw dropped.
Why would he do that? We all have destinies, even those who aren't human.
Lakshmi then squinted and thought.
Or perhaps he was only looking to be amused. In either case, be safe.
Nightingale turned and left, or Lakshmi turned and left, dragging her strange bag behind her. Continue to spirits, page 409. They continued into the dark for what felt like days. Zeke could feel the weight of constant stress wearing him down, threatening to make him collapse with exhaustion. He knew the others felt the same. He could see the fatigue and fear on their faces. He couldn't give up now, though. Justice was still down here somewhere. This deep underground, the rocks themselves radiated warmth. Zeke could feel the pressure of all the earth above him. The air was oppressive with all the weight of it, making it hard to think. The caverns were all gone now, replaced with chambers that were finely crafted from stone. Eventually, they descended down another set of steps. Scratches and gouges had worn into the stone, indicating a well-traveled route. Many creatures probably went up and down this causeway, yet nothing came for them. The stairwell led them through a set of stone doors and into a round hall. A junction of many passages lined with sealed doors. The blood led across the room to one of many doors where it stopped.
We must be getting close.
Remi said.
We've been going for hours. There can't be much more down here, can there?
Shayla shook her head.
I hope you're right. The Eyrie burrows through the rock for many miles. Even before it was sealed, no one had a complete map of the place.
At least we can follow the trail back up.
Rook said.
We won't need to wander around if we have to leave in a hurry.
Nice, Zeke said, taking the lead. They continued across the room, following the trail of blood until Zeke came to an abrupt halt. In front of him, the Shadow Lord was waiting for them in the very center, though he wasn't sure when it had appeared. The Shadow Lord tilted his head slightly, as if to look at them.
Do not understand how you have come so far,
it said.
1,000 deaths awaited you in my domain. Drops from hundreds of feet, lakes of acid, ravenous monsters, geysers of lava, yet you somehow avoided all of them. Humans never cease to amaze me.
No one spoke. Zeke stared.
Dash is the best Shadow Lord.
No one spoke. Zeke stared down at the floor where the trail of blood had been following all this time still shone, red and wet. The Shadow Lord followed his gaze.
Ah, I see. You have either guessed luckily, or you had help. I'll assume this is the Occupus...
Keep going.
Occupus Resendo's work? So I'm not sure how you got that damn coffin to say anything. Or maybe you didn't. Did you kill him to pry out his secrets?
The Shadow Lord paused.
I suppose it doesn't matter now. Though, for what it's worth, I hope you killed him. I really hated that man. And it was a man in the coffin.
It was apparent that Zeke looked confused, and the Shadow Lord noticed.
Ah, you didn't know. That damn coffin was once human like you. His body decayed long ago, but his spirit stayed out of my reach within this receptacle he created for himself. He was a nuisance, stealing essence from me.
The Shadow Lord raised his hand with a growl. He brought it down again, and a faint blue light followed the gesture. It struck the trail on the ground, and the whole thing exploded into red mist. Zeke turned in horror to see that the trail behind them had faded away to patches of red. The trail leading deeper vanished as well, without leaving so much as a stain on the rock.
He thought to send you, did he? Lead you right into my home.
The Shadow Lord looked up, and the faint blue light from within its hood became a bonfire. Zeke still remembered the right door. He chanced to step towards it, though he wasn't sure what they would do once they got past the Shadow Lord. With the blood gone, the Eyrie would be as dangerous a maze as the Shadow Lord had said. The Shadow Lord was suddenly right in front of Zeke, its body glowing so brightly that he had to look away. A strange gravity seemed to follow the Shadow Lord now, attracting dust and small pebbles from the ground to slowly spin around itself in a self-contained whirlwind.
I am no longer amused with your progress,
it said, gesturing around with both hands. Every one of the massive stone doors slammed open.
A few thousand of my servants will come for you here. When they finish with you, I will send them above to join those who have already escaped. knowing in your last moments that you will die, that many will die because of you.
The Shadow Lord began to dissolve, his form fading. In the distance, Zeke heard them, like a stampede of feet, claws, and tentacles. What's that? He stuttered, glancing back. Behind him, he saw that Nightingale and Shayless had gone back to back with weapons drawn, nervously edging together. At their side, Rook grabbed Remi, spinning her to face a different direction.
They're coming!
Rook yelled. Shrieks and howls split the dense cavern air. Zeke heard the wails of the damned and a chorus of every poor creature that had ever died down here. Even those that had not started as monsters had been twisted into them by the Shadow Lord's power, made into something terrible, forced to serve even in death. The ghostly visage of hundreds spilled into the room around them, screaming in terror and pain like a cacophony of angry birds. Each figure vastly different from the next, an image of what they were once in life, a variable zoo of creatures descended upon them from all directions.
What do we do?
Nightingale screamed to Shayless. The Maluma recoiled inside her, and the feeling of it made her want to hide too, though she knew it wouldn't do any good. Shayless inhaled loudly, but nothing escaped her mouth. She screamed as paralyzed with fear as the rest of them. Coward! Zeke roared, sudden fury boiling in him. He couldn't have said where it came from, but he didn't back away. All of his anger, frustration, and pain spilled out of him. He couldn't hold back now. He looked at the Shadow Lord right in the face as he screamed, You hide behind your slaves! You're too afraid to face us yourself! The Shadow Lord's ghostly visage became solid, and the multitude of creatures all went suddenly still, frozen as if time stopped.
Are you sure that's what you want, boy?
The Shadow Lord bellowed. Zeke nodded. I'm sure.
All you had to do was ask.
The Shadow Lord replied casually. At once, the doors all around the room slammed closed, including the one that led to the stairs downward. Only one remained open, the one the blood trail had pointed to. The sound of the army stopped, leaving a strange silence in its place. The Shadow Lord gave what Zeke thought was a smile.
I'll be waiting for you.
It said, vanishing. Nobody moved. Zeke felt like he could see the Shadow Lord looming over him, his hands ready to clamp down on his throat. All around them, images of the enslaved spirits slowly phased out of existence until they were left alone in the room.
That was incredibly stupid.
Shayless eventually got out, glaring at Zeke.
If it wanted to...
Zeke shrugged it off. It worked, didn't it? Now it's going to let us through. What were we supposed to do? Fight a whole army of ghosts on our own? Shayless ground her teeth, but didn't argue further. For better or worse, Zeke had bought their way forward. The single open path led through a vast chamber lined with grotesque statues and down towards a set of double doors, hanging open like a maw threatening to swallow them whole. Each figure carved in the stone depicted a gruesome death. They traveled slowly down the hall, their steps echoing off the high ceilings. There was remarkable artistry here, each statue capturing exact moments of death with vivid clarity. As they neared the doors, there was a flash of violet light from behind them, and suddenly Suri was there. Her ghostly form drifted up to the doors.
You can't go any further, Rook.
We have to.
Rook answered.
If we don't, Justice is dead, and Nightingale too.
You don't understand.
Suri practically screamed.
You can't win. It's a god. Your weapons won't even hurt it. They can't. If you fight this creature, he'll kill all of you.
I'm sorry.
Rook said, reaching out with a comforting hand for her shoulder.
We have to go. We'll figure something out. We made it this far, didn't we?
It'll be fine.
No.
Suri pulled away, retreating.
I'm not going to watch you die.
She vanished in a faint flash of purple light, and the pendant around Rook's neck went dull. Rook stood still, expression grim.
Let's finish this.
The doors opened into a mockery of a throne room, a sprawling hall lined with pillars stained with filth and rot, torches blazing with ghostly blue light affixed to each one, casting the entire room in a cool twilight. Beside the central aisle was a pile of bodies. Many were human, many were not, and many had decayed past the point of identification. Zeke progressed timidly, eyeballing the pile. The stench was awful, but mitigated somewhat by the constant draft blowing from the direction they'd come. The throne sat at the far end of the room, a throne made not of metal, wood, or stone, but writhing, agonized, ghostly faces. The Shadow Lord sat upon his own tortured souls, and they burned with the same ghost light of the torches surrounding him. On the ground beside the throne was Justice, curled in a weak ball, her chest rising and falling slowly. Zeke looked closely and could see the piece of the pontifex still on its strap secured around her neck. "Justice!" Zeke called, sprinting the rest of the way towards the throne. She didn't stir. "Give her back!" Zeke spat, resting one hand on his undrawn weapon. He stood about 10 feet back, out of reach of the Shadow Lord if it decided to strike. The Shadow Lord sat straight, watching as the rest of their feeble party lined up beside Zeke, each one armed, ready to fight.
I am impressed.
It said.
It has been so very long since anyone has attracted my attention as you have. You fought so bravely. You even managed to exploit my own enemies. I will therefore offer you what few other mortals have ever received. A bargain. I will give you justice, but one of you must take her place.
Nightingale scoffed.
No chance in hell. We're not?
She trailed off, staring openly at Rook as he stepped forward out of line with the others. Rook set his weapon down, spreading his arms wide.
I'll do it.
He didn't hesitate as he stared down the Shadow Lord.
Take me.
Shut up, Rook.
Nightingale barked.
Don't be stupid.
Rook turned to look at her.
Not this time, Nightingale. It's my duty to protect you. Saving justice is the only way I can guarantee you'll be safe.
No!
Remi squeaked, reaching out for Rook's wrist with one nervous hand.
You can't!
Rook pulled away, shaking his head.
Sorry, Remi. If this is what I have to do, it is what I have to do.
Zeke wanted to argue, but he didn't get the chance. Shayla beat him to it.
We don't know that. We don't know that we would get justice back, even if you do give yourself up, Rook.
Do not impugn my word.
Impugn.
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 Don't impugn me! It's just extra funny that you've got this regal Shadow Lord that's just got the terrible grammar.
It's like Trump.
All the lights in the room flickered away to faint blue embers, casting them in sudden gloom. Only the Shadow Lord's terrible visage remained bright, leering down at them.
My word is absolute. Lesser beings traffic in deception and trickery. I swear that if you accept my terms, you will have safe passage to Greyhaven. I promise nothing further. My subjects will attempt to slaughter your city, and those who try and stop them. But when I swear to do no violence against you while you're in my domain, my bond is perfect.
It rose from its throne, descending slowly down a series of stone steps towards them.
You fail to see the generosity of my offer. It isn't just that I couldn't effortlessly extinguish all of your pitiful lives, though I could. I have been offered a great deal in exchange for this girl.
He motioned to Justice.
Powers beyond your realm are willing to pay dearly for her, and all the things she comes with.
The creature glanced down at the rock around Justice's neck.
Sharon, the Council of Abhorrence?
Of what?
Abhorrence.
Abhorrence, close. Rook asked and glanced at the group behind him.
Perceptive.
The Shadow Lord leaned to its side before continuing.
Very curious. I'm unsure how you know anything about that.
The Shadow Lord floated in silence for a moment before continuing.
In either case, no one outside of these realms would have interest in any of you. Your souls are worthless to me. Consider my offer while it is still before you. Reject it, and I will happily enslave all your souls until you're nothing but mindless husk, begging for non-existence.
The Shadow Lord stopped at the base of the stairs, folding his arms, the torchlight returning to the uneven light.
Refuse me, and you will know 1,000 deaths. You will watch your own hands commit debauchery beyond your comprehension.
Ooh.
In my name, and you will revel in it. You have been courageous to reach me, but do not continue brashness for bravery.
Confused.
Sorry.
Debauchery
If you
and
survive this encounter, it will be only at my pleasure.
Rook turned back towards Nightingale.
I'm your knight. It's my duty to protect you. Look at that thing. We cannot kill it. Our only hope is to give it what it wants.
No, there has to be another way.
We could fight it! Zeke turned, his knuckles white and wrapped tightly around his weapon. Rook was deadly serious when he spoke.
This is bigger than any of us, Zeke. Mention Sharon, the Council of Abhorrence. What if Saphir and the Anointed aren't crazy? What if this Sharon monster is really trying to get his hands on the Pontifex to free himself?
Karen is none of our concern right now.
Shayla said flatly.
But you're right. This is bigger than any of us. Greyhaven still needs to be warned. They need to be helped.
Shayla's put a hand on Nightingale's shoulder.
I can't choose this for you, but it's not a bad option. You want me to sacrifice Rook?
Nightingale's mouth dropped a bit in disbelief. Shayla said nothing, and Patrick only averted his gaze.
We can't kill it, Knight.
Shayla was firm in her position. This is bullshit! Damocles brushed his hair aside, stepping forward. Nightingale, anything could be killed. Let's fight it. If he... Oh, God. It can't be let loose on the city. We all have a duty to protect the whole country.
Anything can be killed?
Shayla scoffed.
You must never had read anything about them before.
The Shadow Lord chuckled, but otherwise didn't respond. It certainly didn't seem afraid of them. Damocles threw it a dirty look. Yeah, kill the Shadow Lord. As much as I hate to say it, if the Anointed are right about Sharon being after the Pontifex, then it's likely he was also controlling Echo.
Which means Echo was really being controlled by the Soul Stitcher, and her story about the Soul Stitcher being part of this console is true.
Rook finished his line of reasoning. Damocles nodded. Sharon was behind everything in Hyde. Remi stepped forward, both arms wrapped tightly around Gage.
I don't think we should leave a friend behind. No matter what the cost is. I'll do whatever you think is best, Knight.
Seeing the mixture of fear and courage in Remi's face made Nightingale feel lucky to have her as a friend. If she followed her here, she'd follow her anywhere.
Podrick?
Nightingale glanced over at the man. He was running a hand through his beard. Working at the inn! You hear a lot of stories about unkillable monsters, gods, abominations, and all sorts of other tall tales. He looked to Shayla. I'd rather not endanger anyone I love. He shrugged. But if I got to die, I'd rather do it fighting for them.
Enough!
The Shadow Lord boomed, and the lights dimmed all around them.
Grown weary of your antics, please make your decision as quickly as possible, so that I might leave.
Flag check! Do the players have the story flag? All we can get.
No.
Continue to the flag check below. Flag check! Do the players have the story flag? Reluctant partnership?
Yes.
And helping hand?
Yes.
And helping him?
Continue to promise me. Page 453.
Swear to me. Okay, this is a figure.
You wouldn't be the first so-called god I've seen die, Zephyr said, stepping forward beside Rook and drawing his weapon.
Are you certain that's what you want?
The Shadow Lord asked, eyeing him.
Your agonizing deaths would be a sad end after all. The struggle it took to bring you here.
Zephyr dropped the weapon, just as Rook had done without his weapons. With his weapons. Oh, you highlighted this wrong. You misunderstand me. I could fight, but I won't. I'm not sure these children have it in them. He turned back, looking to Nightingale. We need the Pontifex and justice to stop Sharon. Keeping Middara safe from him is all that matters. I die here, and you can walk free.
Who's it here?
Echo rushed to his side, grabbing his arms and bounded hands.
No, you can't do this. We need you. I need you.
The Shadow Lord watched Zephyr, apparently amused.
You're willing to die for those you disdain. What is the source of your loyalty?
Zephyr ignored Echo. I made a promise to the young princess. He nodded to Nightingale. I'm guided by a higher purpose, one that means stopping Sharon. This is the best way.
You can't.
Echo continued.
You're more valuable than all of them put together.
She threw a sneer at Nightingale. Zephyr finally looked at Echo and touched her cheek gently. None of us are more valuable than stopping Sharon. If this is what it takes, I'll do it. I've lived for my life for this purpose. I'll die for it as well. Tears welled up in Echo's eyes as he wrapped his arms around her. She buried her face in his chest. If I do this, princess, Zephyr looked at Nightingale, if I sacrifice myself to save justice, you need to keep your promise to me that you'll free Echo. She doesn't deserve what is being done to her. I will give my life for you for stopping Sharon, but you must break the grasp the Soul Stitcher has on her. He looked straight to Nightingale as he spoke. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out.
No, this isn't your choice to make.
Jaylis interrupted, her voice clear.
Put justice aside for a moment.
She looked to Rook.
And you're not Justice's knight. You're Nightingale's. She gets to decide her own fate.
Nightingale backed up, her tail curling up around her leg and her hand starting to shake. She whimpered, glancing between Rook and Zephyr, then back to her sister.
What do you think we should do? I think you should turn someone over. It's probably our best option.
Jaylis removed her own weapon from its sheath.
But back when I went adventuring with Podrick...
She glanced over to him and he smiled at her, drawing his own weapon.
We never would have left someone behind. Not even someone like Zephyr. Everyone says the Shadow Lord can't be killed, but have any of them tried? We made it this far. I say we find out.
Your call, princess, Damocles said, drawing his own weapon. All eyes were on Nightingale then. Even the unfathomable Shadow Lord was watching her. Everyone waited for her decision. Nightingale must make a decision!
Can we choose two options here? Because I would like to do that.
Can you get your forehead out of the middle of the camera?
Sorry.
Do we either trade Zephyr for safe passage, trade Rook for safe passage, or refuse to trade anyone?
Can we leave Zephyr behind and fight the boss?
Why don't you like Zephyr? You don't like Batman?
I'm sorry.
He's the hero we need.
Him and Echo?
Hecho.
We could leave them both.
Hecho.
So annoying.
I mean, my vote is for refuse to trade anyone. While that vote's going on, though, I'll be right back.
Matt's going to quote 10.
Party horn.
Look at
Body
all
points.
these people and all their kindness. They're going to stay for the power of friendship. Look, we can still fight it and leave Zephyr behind. Like, that's an option. He's annoying. Joshua, you're
Yes.
such the conversationalist.
I know. As you shove your mouthful of food. I like that you muted
I
yourself.
almost made the seafood joke.
Oh. So it looks like they refused to trade anyone. The timer didn't quite stop yet, so I'm kind of confused. I think the timer was a little screwed up.
What if it's just going to go on forever? Because the timer knows that this is the wrong choice. Even
This is the right
timer
choice.
knows. No. Even the timer knows that this is the wrong life choice. I need my water bottle.
So just so you know,
Okay.
Anne, I only highlighted this choice. I don't have any of the
I
other text for the
figured you
other
would.
choices. So
I figured. Look, see, my Google Home is doing it again. It says connecting. I won't even do my face. Oh my god, I hate this thing. So mad. I think I need to reset my router.
You should do it right now in the middle of the stream.
Did you see my shirt? It's Lucas the Spider. And if you don't know who Lucas the Spider is, you need to Google him because he's adorable and the best thing ever.
Okay, so what choice did we make, Josh?
you refuse to trade anyone.
Continue to a poor choice. Page 459.
But not even anybody voted to trade Zephyr. See? And even the story title tells you it's a poor choice.
Nightingale.
All right. I've made up my mind.
Nightingale said, walking forward. Rook's eyes widened, and he turned to stop her.
You can't. There's no way in hell I'll put you in danger just to.
No!
Nightingale said, tightening her grasp on her weapon.
Whatever the odds, we don't leave anyone behind. We're strongest together, and we stay together. What's worth fighting for, if it's not the people you love?
So that's it then.
The Shadow Lord asked, sounding more amused by the second.
You refuse my offer. I will have all of you as playthings to serve me instead of just one.
Nightingale answered by raising her weapon.
I don't believe in gods. Lowercase g.
The Shadow Lord laughed, so loudly that the sound seemed to fill the entire throne room. It wasn't just his voice. It seemed as though the hundreds of corpses all around them were laughing along with him. Each of them, from the skeletal remains to the freshly dead, turned their heads to watch.
Very well, Princess.
The Shadow Lord said with a snarl.
I'll have to take all of your souls.
The entire chamber darkened. Only the blue light of screaming souls lit this otherwise black chamber.
Your souls, I desire them.
The Shadow Lord held a thin hand out as a wave of enslaved spirits rushed forward from behind his throne. Continue to boss fight! The Shadow Lord, page 458. Dun, 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 dun. Are you ready for this?
I don't think you're ready for this. Joshua, if you only did one thing, why is there so much more? I mean, like, I'm so into
stuff
reading
after the
story,
fight.
For when we win.
For when we win. It's the end of the story.
Butthole.
How do you know we're going to win?
Because that's all we do is win, 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 no matter what. You've decided to challenge the Shadow Lord. You can't just sacrifice someone without trying to do something. The wretched specter floats above, preparing to strike. Even without a face, it seems to be smiling. You draw your weapon and hope you aren't making a big mistake. Win condition, the Shadow Lord is defeated. Lose condition, all adventurers are defeated. Special encounter rules, the Shadow Lord's throne room. The aura of the Shadow Lord is so strong in this room that the spirits of the dead cannot leave under any circumstances. Anytime a figure other than an enslaved spirit is defeated, spawn an enslaved spirit. These enslaved spirits are always considered opponents to the adventurers. The Shadow Lord, sorrow-fed fiend. When setting up the encounter, reveal small and large hidden cards UM51 to access the Shadow Lord's initiative and intelligent combatant cards. These cards will be used during the showdown. When the Shadow Lord is defeated, read the following text. All in. When an adventurer is defeated, place an uninjured party member on the east side of tile UM70 and place their initiative card at the end of the initiative track. Defeated adventurers cannot be placed back on the board. If there are no uninjured party members, do nothing. Fickle playthings. The first time during this encounter the Shadow Lord has 100 damage, read the following text. Final form. The first time during this encounter the Shadow Lord has 200 damage, read the following text. He hasn't even reached his final form.
It's Frieza?
It's Frieza.
Or Cell?
Yes.
Or Boo?
Boo don't like you!
Or any other Dragon Ball villain?
Shadow Lord don't like you!
That's what the Shadow Lord sounded like.
You stay as my playthings! I get all of you!
Your souls I desire!
Your souls I desire! Yeah,
Hold
that's
on.
it. All right.
There's enough of that.
Shadow Lord, Aura of Sorrow. The Shadow Lord has hulking, colossal, crush, unstoppable. Josh, what does this mean?
He can't be moved. When he moves, he does purple damage.
What's crush?
I don't...
Besides orange soda. He's also got, and you'll appreciate this one, immunity effects.
Oh, good.
And protection.
Crush.
The Shadow Lord only uses line of sight when determining the target of a spell. When an opponent ends their turn adjacent to the Shadow Lord, inflict wilt. When an opponent ends their turn within the Shadow Lord's line of sight, they are inflicted with disease, force 15. Crush, Joshua?
Crush is when he does a purple
immunity to
die of damage. Unstoppable.
Can you repeat what Crush was? Because Anne was yelling over you.
He does a purple die of irreducible damage when he moves through you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got immunity effects, Anne. So your Pen of Ebon Rule was a useless purchase, and you should feel bad about it.
Unstoppable is when moving, this figure treats obstructing terrain as normal spaces. Replace any obstructing terrain this figure moves through with hindering terrain.
Okay.
Hulkins, he can't be moved. And Colossal is he can draw a line of sight no matter what the elevation is.
We'll go through his attacks as we get to them. He's got 300 health, 15 defense, 4 movement, 4 armor, a blue and a gray combat dice, 2 blue conviction dice, which is ridiculous, and a blue casting dice. So it's going to be really hard for Twitch to hit him. He's mean. All right, so this is the board, this very, very crooked board that was straight until Joshua hit it for 85 times.
Why did you guys encourage me to put the pen up instead of the black ticket?
I don't think anyone encouraged you to put the pen up. In fact, if anything, when you were talking about the pen, Josh and I were giving each other looks like, okay, if that's what she wants.
You'd use an act too when we get back to it.
the looks that you guys.
So Twitch has the umbrella, they're going to get immunity disease.
I have my skill, which I'm going to get immunity disease.
Yeah. All right. Initiative cards?
Yep.
All right. Josh, who do you think's up first?
Rook.
Enslaved spirits 1 through 3. By the way, there's 6 enslaved spirits on the board. Does someone have the resurrection relic?
Yep, but you can't use it.
Can't?
I'm pretty sure the special rule was once an adventure is defeated, they can't
Oh,
come back.
yeah, that's right. Who's up second, Josh?
Rook.
Enslaved spirits 4 through 6. All the enslaved spirits go first. Who do you think's up third?
Rook.
Remi. Who do you think's up fourth?
Rook.
Nightingale. Who do you think's up fifth?
Rook.
The Shadow Lord. Who do you think's up sixth?
Rook.
Rook. Damn it, I'm last.
Finally.
I'll just play cleanup. I'll kill the Shadow Lord. Okay. Let's start.
Yep.
So
Enslaved spirits.
there's no interesting terrain on the board. There's actually no terrain on the board. It's just the Shadow Lord, the 6 enslaved spirits, and then there's some impassable terrain built into the board. That's it, though. All right, so enslaved spirits 1 through 3 first. So that's this side of the board. Is there an opponent adjacent?
No.
Is there an opponent without Wilt in Sphere of Influence?
Yes, you're in.
No, because there is a impassable terrain right here for this one.
Then no.
Because that's 1. Can the enslaved spirit move and attack?
What's their movement?
6.
Yes,
You can?
I believe so.
No. 1. That's a hole.
Oh, I
1.
have the pager.
Oh, yeah, it can. So it's going to go over here and attack me.
Hold on. I have the pager. Does it make sense to put the enslaved spirits last?
You have to use it on your turn.
You could put the Shadow Lord last, so we all go first.
Or put them at the beginning of the track. Either or.
Are you? It definitely says it must be used on my turn.
It doesn't say use at any time, so yes, it has to be used.
Yeah, skills have to be used on your turn unless they say otherwise. Okay. So he's going to attack me, which is 2 gray dice, and I am going to dodge. Boop, boop. I need a black die, Josh. I rolled 1 shield. Not a great roll. Do I want to re-roll that? Can I see what the result is first
Nope.
before I re-roll it? I'll keep it. That's fine. Please roll. Josh, tell him how to roll. And why is your face off the screen? Are you taking a nap?
I'm writing.
You rolled a
No, I'm.
15 math.
I take my notes.
So what's my defense?
You have 13 defense,
I rolled 1 shield.
so that's 14 defense. It's beating you by 1.
I'm flanking it.
Are you flanking it?
Yeah.
So you're tied.
I'm okay with that because he gets nothing for symbols.
Okay. Doesn't he add like a purple die of damage or something? Or is that a different thing? If you start adjacent to it?
That's not this character.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make an attack against an opponent. When determining damage, roll the opponent's best casting die and add the number rolled as physical damage. Well, I don't want that. Hold on. Do I get anything else? No. All right, so I have to take a casting die. My casting die is
Purple.
good now.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah. It's teal. It's not good. Never mind. It's okay. It's our teal die.
Okay.
I think the second highest die doesn't exactly qualify as okay.
And I rolled an 8 on it.
Do you have a reroll thing?
I mean, I have a reroll in my dodge, but you're saying I can't reroll that, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to use my forebode, and I'm going to reroll that.
You can have them reroll the 10 they rolled.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That's a better idea. Because it was meeting me, so anything less than a 10,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Dee-doo-dee-doo-doo-dee-doo.
Do, 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 do.
This is kind of a small arena.
Yeah, it is.
That's nice because I'm looking at my
Panic.
espers as you're going,
Yeah.
trying to plan. And usually, like, I debate whether I should bring them out sooner in my turn or whether I should traverse the arena first. But, like, now I could bring out a Garrus early because he doesn't have to go anywhere.
I still rolled an 8. All right. So he's doing 8 damage to me.
You have 2 armor.
Yes. Also, I get -2 from the first physical damage dealt to me from melee attacks.
-4.
So it does 4 damage?
Yep.
Okay. I'll live with that. That's not terrible.
Can you counter?
No, because he hit me.
So you're down to 19 health.
Okay. The next one's going to go.
Okay.
So, is there an opponent adjacent? Is there an opponent without Wilt and Sphere of Influence? What's Wilt do again?
No one's within its spirit of once. It's too far away.
What
but
does
Wilt
Wilt do?
is the black die of extra damage whenever you take damage.
Oh, I thought we said that was something else.
No.
So then can it move and attack someone? Movement of 6. No.
No, it can't.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, move towards the nearest opponent with the best casting upgrade. That's going to be Twitch. So it's going to move
Matt,
towards
could
Twitch.
you put the enslaved spirit card up on the screen real quick? I would like to take a picture of it and throw it in here so that I can read it.
So he's going to move towards Twitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There.
Can you scooch it up just a little so that the health is in there?
Pain in my ass. I mean, yeah, sure.
I know. Thank you.
So the third one's going to do the same thing because
Yeah.
it's not.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Thank you.
5,
I'm good.
6. All right. So then Enslaved Spirit 4 is going to go. So is you in his SOI, Josh?
Is
Is you
a
is or
hindrance
is you
terrain there,
ain't his
so
baby?
No.
Are you looking at 4?
Which one's 4?
4 should be the one closest to him. The
I'm
Shadow
not
Lord.
within his SOI.
Okay,
No
so
one's within his SOI.
all right, so he's going to move forward. Can he move 6 spaces and hit you?
They can attack Remi, yes.
Oh, Remi. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and move them. So, and you're getting attacked now.
Of course I am. By the enslaved spirits.
Yeah.
Move to make a melee attack against the opponent with the best casting upgrade. Is it only me that they can attack?
Yeah. No one else is within range.
Okay. I am going to dodge, and I'm going to use... Stop it. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Aura of Hate for all of them. They're going to take damage.
Maybe. I'm going to like 6 black dice. Oh my god, it rolled a 19 against you, Anne. Are you there, Anne?
Yeah,
She rolled
it sucks.
3 shields, so she has a 16. It's beating you by 3.
Plus, I get 2 books as plus 1 to my dodge. It's no...
Oh my god, really? So what's Aura of Hate again? How much damage?
You have the card in front of you.
I don't think that's a value. 3 magic damage. Okay, so first one doesn't get affected. Second one, which is purple, does get affected. So he's going to have 9 health. Third one is going to get affected. That's orange. He's going to have 9 health. Fourth one, you don't have colors for these,
I don't.
is 1, 2, 3, going to get affected. So he has 9 health. I'll do that as red. And then the other 2 don't get affected.
All right. We need to... What's your casting die? Right, that's what they had at
Yeah, they add a casting die
so
of physical
a purple
damage.
die.
So roll a purple die in.
How many times am I getting attacked, and does it make sense to re-roll? There's no way that I can beat them, right?
You're going to get attacked at least one more time. Probably. Maybe 2.
That didn't answer my question. Can I beat a 19?
No.
I rolled a 2.
All right, so that's 5 damage to you. You reduce the first 2, so it's 3 damage. You have 1 armor, so you take 2 damage.
All right. The next one's going to go. Is anyone in Sphere of Influence?
No.
Then it's can it run up and attack?
I believe so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. So same thing, Ann.
Nice.
Oh. I didn't mean to actually equip your black ticket, and I don't know why that was in the middle of your grid. I just realized that was standing there. I realized I put the picture of the black ticket in there for no reason at all.
No, because I'm going to change the 10 out for that.
Yeah.
They rolled an 18 this time.
I am spending an SP to dodge, right? It's just 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Forget it. Because you already rolled it out. Whatever. I'm metaing it. I can't beat it. What can I beat?
It
That's
helps.
what I
Takes
wanna
less
know.
damage.
Yeah, you take less damage. I would still do it.
Okay, but that's fair. What can I beat?
You have a defense of 13. You could add +4 to it.
17 and
So
lower.
17 and lower.
Well, 16 and lower.
16
ties, yeah.
I rolled a skull, so that sucks.
Okay, so it's beating you. They rolled an 18. It's beating you by 5. Roll a purple, Diane.
And don't forget your spray on underpants.
She doesn't have spray.
Oh, you don't have spray on underpants?
I don't have them.
Oh.
No. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so
10.
armor. Did you take the reduction from her morbid leather last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 8 minus 1 is 7.
7 damage?
Yep.
She's at 11 health?
Yep.
Okay. And the last one, is anyone within its sphere of influence?
No.
Can it move and attack? No, definitely not.
Can it go this way?
No. Look at what the hindering terrain is.
I can't tell. Like, I can't. Oh, that's all.
This is hindering terrain, and then this block here is hindering terrain. So he's going to move 6 spaces closer to Twitch.
Twitch should just do the shadows them all.
I mean, they can. All right, so they all went.
Yep.
Remi, it's your turn.
Can you read the
I can't read,
card
Josh.
for
You know
the
that.
Shadow Lord?
Can you stop breaking the table?
Sorry.
What do you want me to do?
Go over the Shadow Lord's card real quick, because I thought there was some text on there about when you end your turn within his SOI or his whatever.
When an opponent ends their turn within the Shadow Lord's line of sight, they are inflicted with disease. When an opponent ends their turn adjacent to the Shadow Lord, inflict wilt. So wilt is automatic. The disease is force 15.
Okay. And we're all in his line of
When
sight right now.
you're... What do you roll to do a force check?
Your conviction dice.
I guess it's not too bad since I have the blue upgrade. What is it to switch out my relics?
1
SP.
SP.
And I only have 3. This is going to be great.
only have
Okay,
2
so
SP
we're
right
going
now.
to do the Doom Break.
Yeah, you only have... Why did you
I
only have
broke
2?
it.
Because she
Dodged?
dodged.
Oh, okay. Oh, you broke your Doom Break too. You're off to a swimming start.
So now you're
Well,
at
the nice thing is you can now swap out your Doom Break also, because it's 1 SP to swap out any number of relics. Right? Look at the bright
What
side.
else do I have for relics?
You
I
have-
wish I had my wacky tobacco. Wouldn't have to worry about my broken Doom Break.
Just spawn something, and then you get a haste token.
What other relics do I have?
The Necklace of Immortality.
I can't use it.
Why not?
You already said she can't use it.
Oh, it says when you would be defeated by an opponent, roll a black die, and then she would heal. We can't use the resurrection thing.
Oh, okay.
She could use the.
Oh, that's fine.
She could use the necklace.
Yeah, let's. Yes, please swap me out for that.
You have your
Thank
hand
you.
grenades to throw at these guys if you wanted to.
Could you send me a picture? I forgot what I. Yeah, let me. What is? Well, I guess could you just throw it up on the thing because I can decide to use that now. Now would be the time to use that.
Here's everything. You can heal up right now.
Hold on. Where's the most important ones? Here, you've got a plank. You've got a plank.
Oh wait! What does that say? Does that say reduce physical damage done to you by 2?
Yeah, it sure does.
I could have been doing that all along, Joshua.
So you can do that twice right now and have 4 more health.
I would hold on to those.
I've been holding on to that to spite you. Yeah, I mean, I'll hold on to it, but now I know.
So you got these suspect hand grenades, which is discard, throw a gray and black die, pick up to 3 figures with this throw, rolling separately for each figure. If a skull is rolled, the target is dealt no damage. But that does a shitload of damage. A gray and a black.
And it's up to 3.
Yeah, so you could target.
Yeah.
What would be nice, and I'm saying this from a teamwork perspective here, is if you cleared the path in front of Zeke so that way I can Leroy Jenkins into the Shadow Lord.
So dumb. Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's do that one
Okay, so roll 3
first because it's
sets
multiple.
of gray and black.
Okay, so the first set of gray and black is 4 books and an 8.
Okay?
How much damage does that do if it's a black die? I don't understand.
The black
it's
die is
just
just to
if
see
it
if it's a
misses.
dud.
Oh. They still roll to negate damage.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not-
having them roll.
I'm
now.
having
Is that
chat
what
do
you're
that.
doing?
Yeah, and you got to roll 3 times.
I think the second one has no damage. No, third one.
Okay. So they all would have gotten damage. So that's unfortunate. So the first one is red. So he got 8 damage. So he's got 3 health left. 4 health left. No. Yeah, 4 health left. Okay. The second one got 6 damage. He's got 3 health left. And then the last one's fine. Okay. Cool. So that goes away. And you've also got juice boxes. You've got the auger pager, which allows you to move something to the front or back of the initiative track.
So let's do that and move the Shadow Lord to the end.
I would move them to the front because then your summons go to the end.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Which essentially that means we skip his turn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's discarded. You've also got Bottled Blessings if you want to gain some SP. Bottled
Hold on.
Blessing
How many bottled blessings do I have?
1. Also, it's a reroll.
How much SP is it?
Just 1 SP.
Yeah, you gain 1 SP.
It's heal 3, reroll, and gain 1 SP. One of the 3. And you can do it for an ally too within your SOI. You don't have to do it for you.
You've also got Baphomet's Blessing, which is at any time reroll any
yeah.
dice rolled by a figure within SOI. So you've got some rerolls.
Do you want to use your juice boxes
Reroll
before you
any
possibly get diseased?
in SO. The blessing is I can roll it anybody that rolled anything.
Yep.
within
Yep.
my SOI?
Yep.
At any time,
Okay.
reroll any dice rolled by a figure within SOI.
Okay. And then how many juice boxes do I have?
2. So each one heals 3, so you can
And
heal
how
6 health.
Yep, do that, please. And thank you.
Anne's finally using all the
that'll put me-
consumables she's stocked up this entire time.
Look, this is how I play games.
I know. This is how I play games too.
Eating my 10 wheels of cheese.
Yep.
Turn to fight.
Those are active.
My
So.
bag of holding. Is that all of the consumables that I have?
Yeah.
All the ones that you would potentially want to use, yeah.
So you have 3 SP. If you end your turn within his line of sight, which you are, if you move a space over, you won't be. Right?
Yeah.
I
Where is she?
Oh, did I get the SP from the Doom Break even though
Yeah,
it
you got
broke?
the SP from the Doombeck. It just broke. Oh, and you spent an SP to re-equip, so that's going to be lose 1 SP.
You're down to 2.
So you're down to 2 SP.
Summoning Elfie would be really super dandy.
Hold on. We're gonna use Mend
Okay.
when these, and we're gonna gain 2 fill tokens.
Okay. All right. You have to spend an
How much is
SP, and you heal
Each
6.
heal token.
The heal 6. You have to spend an SP to use them.
Yes, but if I heal an ally other than myself, I gain the SP back.
Yep.
Is Anne finally playing support?
No. Any other questions? Let's use summoning.
All right. So you get
4 from summoning, right? So it's 3 from summoning, 1 from friends with benefits.
4, and then 5 with the locket.
Yes.
Okay. Five summon tokens.
Cool. I hate that Doom Break so much.
You can summon Mr. Kitty to stand next to the Shadow Lord.
Elfie gives me +4 damage on
I
each
know,
attack.
But you can do both.
If you could do both, that would be awesome.
Is he next to obstructing terrain or no?
Yep. His
I can't. I only.
flame
have
bowls
one
are
SP.
obstructing terrain.
No, you have 2
Oh,
SP. Ann. You haven't spent any SP on what you've done so far. Besides your re-equipped, you have 2.
Wait, did we swap to Heart of Daedalus?
dodged.
You did not, Shadowowner.
You dodged. You gained 1 back.
So then,
You have 2 SP.
You're
right,
2
and
SP.
then I re-equipped, so I have 2 SP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You can flip your book to summon Mr. Kitty. And then you could summon, with your 2 SP, Elfie.
Kitty's not level 1 or 2. He'd be the locket. Oh, when you use an uncommon, the book I can do a 3 or 4 instead.
Yeah.
He's only got 18 health. That's gonna suck. Can I attack through my summons? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're
As long
your-
as they're in my
your
SOI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flight, Colossal, and Protection. Protection is half physical damage.
No, protection is when they do a conviction check, books add +1 to their roll.
That would be my book. I have 2. Each one of those would be a summon token. The Espers have 4 armor. Is that what you said?
The what?
No,
the
the
Inside Spirits have.
they have 0 armor. The Shadow Lord has 4 armor.
So you still need to get through the enslaved spirits before you can get through the Shadow Lord.
Well, Twitch
get
is-
to the Shadow Lord.
Twitch is going next, and they'll pew pew some stuff.
Me and Twitch will take care of the.
Yeah.
care of them.
And softened them up so you guys can finish the duty.
Oh, I have 2 magic hand grenades.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
What is the Shadow Lord's SOI?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So LSE needs to be within your SOI, but outside of his. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why outside of his?
Because she's got 8 health.
I don't.
It's not going to matter because he pretty much affects everything in like line of sight.
Yeah, it's his thing is line of sight, not SOI. Hello.
Hello. Put LSE out next to the impassable terrain in the bottom left-hand corner.
I need the elephant, Joshua. She's elephant. The elephant. See her. This.
Spent your 2 SP to do that.
This one down here, Ann, like that.
Other side?
On the outside of it.
No, other side.
Towards you.
But yeah.
Oh,
Same place, but towards you.
gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm spending my 2 SP to do that. And then flip my book
To summon the kitty?
and put a Garrus where you had originally put LSE.
Do you want I'm next to the Shadow Lord?
How far away can she spawn him?
Within our SOI.
Can he be there?
This is within our SOI.
Is it?
Isn't it worse for him to be adjacent?
It's when he ends his turn adjacent. He has to be adjacent to attack anyway, so he can actually attack and then back up and then not have to deal with his wilt ability. So it's actually better for him to start adjacent.
And he's diagonal, so he's adjacent.
Where? I can't see.
There, diagonally.
Sneaky move, sis.
Doesn't a Garrus have reach too? No? No.
Yeah, I think he might, but he's fine where he is. You now have haste, barrier.
So next turn you'll gain an extra SP. So you didn't need the tobacco after all. See? Told you. Glad we worked this out.
All right. She needs to do a force 15 check though, right?
Yeah, you need to do a force 15 check, so roll your conviction dice.
For me?
Yep, because you're ending within his line of sight.
I hate him. My conviction dice is a blue and a purple. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. Great, 9.
Okay, so you get disease.
You may not have any positive effects or remove damage or other effects.
Forgot about the positive effects. You lose haste.
You lose haste, barrier, and courage.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
Okay. All right, it is now Twitch's turn.
Yep.
I'm assuming this is just Pew Pew City.
I think so.
So if they could concentrate on the enslaved spirits in front of me, that would be dandy. And you okay there?
It's very frustrating.
The wilt's only if you're adjacent to him?
Yeah, wilt's only if you're adjacent. But Mr. Kitty's out. Mr. Kitty's going to F some stuff up. Also, Elfie's going to do 1,000,000 damage through me. So, there's that. Teamwork makes the dream work, Anne.
I have enough SP. I have enough summon tokens to bring something else. I'm going to have to bring the sword out.
Mr. Sword! I love Mr. Sword. He's my favorite. So, Pew Pew on
Or
Enslaved
Fenty in the
Spirit
end.
1.
How much health does the slave spirit one have left?
4.
Okay.
So, I don't even remember what their casting is. It's a gray die. A gray die. Their conviction is 2 red dice. So they've got their companion that allows them to exhaust for +2. Their weapon gives them +1.
Yep.
And I think that's all we need to worry about, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't need to even spend any health.
They rolled an 8, so it's a 14, and they rolled a 13.
Cool. It's actually a 15.
Yep.
So
And
they do 4 damage because of the level of their ability,
Okay.
right? It's 2. Oh, no, it's 2 magic damage, and you could spend an HP. Okay, so they still have to take damage.
Okay, so they take a damage.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then they need to roll a black die. Well, they could choose when they choose to see if the black die happens first.
Yeah.
So let's see if he actually takes damage. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe? Potato?
Hopefully.
Potato, tomato? What if all potatoes tasted like tomatoes, Josh?
That'd be weird. He doesn't take damage.
God damn it.
Gonna pew again. Pew, pew, pew.
Make my heart go.
Boom, boom.
My supernova girl.
My spirit. My enslaved spirit.
So they still have 2 SP left.
They have haste.
Oh, do they? Yeah. They started with 4.
Yeah.
So they PP'd twice, so
Okay.
they have 2 SP left. Wow, they rolled terribly all around, but it's okay.
But it's okay. But
Oh, god damn it! Okay.
Chat, you're supposed to hit. Just a little bit. Oh, wait.
What?
Question. Would it make more sense for them to do like the shadows and just kind of run through all of them?
They can still do that.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna need to use their ability, I think.
Yeah.
They're gonna need to ambitious here, which is okay. That's a 11 against an 11. Okay, so they kill it that time.
Yep.
Thank God. Okay, so this one's dead. They have 1 more SP, so it still makes sense for them to pew pew again, right?
Did we give them like the shadows or no? Oh no, we gave them the heal one thing.
Yeah, we gave them the heal thing.
Okay. So they take a damage, so they're at 12.
Yeah.
Can they kill? Can they pew another one?
Yeah, they can pew another one and kill it.
Okay.
So I think that makes sense, right? So if they kill this last one, then they can light the shadows and then
Which one are
run
they aiming
through
for?
the purple one.
Okay.
So this one over here.
All right.
That's your microphone.
Yeah.
Really awful, awful rolls.
12
All books.
versus. No.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so flip their ability,
Yeah.
and then they can still like bring the shadows.
Yep.
Move 6 spaces. So we all get an extra SP, and this goes for your summons too.
Oh, that's good.
So
So they'll have 5. They'll be full.
how do they move to inflict the most damage, Josh? What?
They can only go through 2. It might be better to just pew twice.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pew.
Because I can actually take out that other batch kind of pretty well.
Okay. Oh, you're saying just for more of a sure thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't have them roll a black die. Let's roll a black die too. Because more than likely they're going to hit.
Yeah.
God.
Garbage rolls.
I mean, at least it's low for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a 12 against... Okay, so it kills it.
Okay.
It kills
and
the
then
purple
they heal
one.
up.
Yeah, then they heal up.
So they're at 13.
And then they might as well pew the last one, right?
Yep.
So this, enslaved spirits are never a sure thing unless you shove them in a pit. There's no pits close enough to. So they're attacking this orange one here then.
Okay.
Joshua, does Colossal give reach too?
No.
So that is a 13 against a 12. And, okay, so they hit. So they're going to do 6 damage. This one's down to 3 health.
Okay.
And that's the end of their turn.
And they're down to health. So they're at 12.
Correct.
They need to do a conviction check because they're in line of sight.
They can move. They have a free move.
Oh. I mean, they're fine because they ignore disease anyway.
Oh yeah, they ignore disease.
So they're fine.
So wait, they've got a free. What's the text on this? Reduce the SP of a standard action. What's a standard action?
Move.
So they still can't attack because attack is
Re-equip,
2 SP.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Well, standard action doesn't apply to their skills though.
No.
Okay. So yeah, that's the end of their turn then.
Okay.
So Josh, it's your turn.
My turn. All right. I'm gonna throw a grenade at spirit number 6.
Which is 6.
The one.
Well, I could. Do you want to get rid of the orange one first?
I'm gonna do 2 things here.
Okay.
I'm throwing a grenade at that. Can you roll 3 purple dice and 3 black dice?
So what exactly are you doing with your life here?
I'm throwing a magic grenade, which does a purple die of damage to the figure there and all figures adjacent to it.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna hit those 3 over there.
Wait, a figure and all figures adjacent to it? Why wouldn't you go...
Which,
Oh, you don't want to hit Anne.
I don't want to hit Anne
Oh, okay.
or you.
are you going to hit a
I'm not hitting
My
any. I'm
summon?
just hitting bad guys.
Okay, so don't look at the screen.
Okay.
Which one's first?
First would be number 6.
So number 6 is 4 shields, so they're fine.
Okay.
Which one's second?
Number 5.
Number 5 is going to take 6 damage.
Okay.
So number 5 is going to be a second purple. So that had full health. So they're going to have 6 health left.
And then the last one's gonna be number 4.
And that rolled 4 shields also.
Okay. You want me to take care of orange
Yeah.
more? All right. So I'm gonna throw the. I have another one. I'm gonna throw it at orange, so it's gonna affect the other one next to it too. Number 4.
Okay. So then I need 2 purples and 2
Yeah.
blacks. All right. Brush and brush and brush and brush my hair. What?
So I do 2 damage to
Orange.
orange.
He's got 1 health left.
I'm gonna throw some daggers at him.
And then the other one's fine. Oh, we're doing this game now. It's dagger throwing time.
That's the last thing I have that can do.
And then you got all your SP to go.
Yeah.
Where you run through the enslaved spirits and say, "Come at me, bro!" And
You.
they came at you. And then you countered. And you didn't hit. You kill it.
Yeah.
All right. So I just need the teal one to go away, and then I won't provoke any break attacks. That'll be nice.
All right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let me start running. I'm gonna provoke a break attack off the teal one.
Okay. So
counter?
you're going to be here then,
Yeah.
for now. Oy, vault. What's your defense, Josh? 15?
13.
That's it?
Yeah.
With 8 million armor.
Oh, I cast barrier and courage. I cast encourage on myself.
Wait, why you? I need courage. Give me courage. Do it. Yes. They rolled 13, Josh.
And I'll cast barrier on you as well. Here, have those. barriers.
Thanks.
13. That's just enough to hit.
Yeah.
So I need to roll a purple die
For what?
because they do casting damage, right?
That's
Or- no, that's just a
that's only
skill.
when they attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna counter. Oh, it's -1 to break attacks anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Where's my purple dice?
Oh, you threw them both over here.
I'm at my blue dice.
Oh.
I rolled a 16.
They have 13 defense.
Matt, what's a
Which one are
16?
you attacking?
Teal, the one that attacked me.
Which number? 4?
4.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm beating it by 3.
Reach out and punch face.
I got another 3 damage from my shield, so that's 6. Plus stars is another 4, so 10.
Okay. Chat needs
How
to
much-
roll. It has 9 health.
Okay.
So chat needs to roll a black die. Reach out and punch face. It's dead.
Sweet.
Okay.
So I only went 2 spaces so far.
Yeah. You're gonna keep running.
Yeah, I'm gonna run past the other 2 and provoke break attacks from both of them.
So here and then there, and that'll provoke 2 break attacks. So we'll do them in order, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So first one that's gonna attack you is gonna be number 5.
Mumbo number 5.
So number 5 has
Yes.
6 health.
Who does number 5 report to? Doesn't have the same feel.
Who does number 2 work for? All right. So the first one rolled 11. That's definitely a miss.
It's definitely a miss.
So you're countering.
Yeah, I'm gonna counter that one.
So go ahead and roll.
Brush up.
I rolled a 15.
Okay. It's got 13
Beaten by
defense.
2. I have 2 shields, so it's +3. +4, 9.
9 damage.
Yep.
And Twitch rolled a skull. It's dead.
Cool.
All right. Last one attack you is 6. They rolled a 15.
It doesn't do anything.
I
Okay.
imagine when Nightingale turned down the Shadow Lord's offer, she popped in the MP3 player battle mode. That is, yes,
Yeah.
I rolled a
officially
19.
canon.
This is definitely dead. As long as it...
Well, you're doing what? 6. You're beating it by 6 plus symbols.
Plus, I have more symbols than before.
Oh, okay.
Like, I rolled...
Nope, it's fine.
fuck it. All right, so I'm just going to keep... I'm going to run right into Shadow Lord's face.
So you remove.
I get 2 movement. Yeah, just
4. That's 5, 6, 7, 8 movement.
Yeah.
Can you move 9 spaces, Josh?
I can spend that extra SP to move an extra space.
I'm assuming you don't want to provoke a break attack on the Shadow Lord, or
no,
do you?
no, go for it.
Oh, okay.
Break attack me. Break attack me, bro.
All right. You're gonna get inflicted with wilt, by the way.
If I end my turn there.
Yeah. Oh, you've got your God Machine.
I got my God Machine.
Forgot
beat.
about that. Did you call me B?
Yeah.
Our valiant knight.
You
Our
trying it out?
valiant knight. Okay. Shadow Lord ain't playing. It looks like. Okay, he's playing a little bit. 17.
He's beating me by 4.
Each book and shield combo, which he's got
2.
2, is plus 3 damage. So that's 6 damage.
10 damage.
He has armor pierce 3.
Ooh. So I have 5. So I only have 2 armor. So it's 8 damage. I reduce. Oh, I get -1 to the roll. So
Okay.
it's only 7 damage. I reduce 2 damage with my armor.
Okay.
So that's 5 damage.
5 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're at 19 health.
Yep.
And you counter anyways?
I don't have that equipped anymore.
Oh.
I have no more.
Does that make you feel sad?
A little bit.
Okay.
So what did I say? 5 damage?
Yeah.
So down to 19 health. That's fine. I'm going to drink my MF Fortitude.
MF?
I'm at 3 SP now.
Yeah.
And I am going to Mage Break.
Oh. Ooh.
I rolled a 20.
Whoa.
I rolled a perfect roll.
Oh, hello. He's got 15 defense.
15 defense? Okay. So I'm beating it by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 6, so it's 11. Plus 8 is 19. I'm going to add plus 1 to that, 20. And what, he has a blue casting die?
Yes.
So it's 20. I can't up it any more than that. I'm going to do 27 damage.
That's nice.
Right to his freaking
So
face.
he's got 4 armor, but Elifie's going to give you that back, essentially.
Yes.
So 27.
Yep.
Okay, so that is 277 health left. A paltry 277. Oops, wrong thing. 277. Okay. And Dan?
Chat saying 273.
How much did you do?
27.
Oh, I thought you said 23. I'm sorry.
27.
273.
And then I'm going to God Machine and
Fly away.
take a step back.
Boop. You fly one space backwards.
Yep.
All right, that's the end of your turn.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Josh, help me say it. Leroy Jenkins. This is going to be dumb. All right, I'm going to spend an SP and I'm going to run up into his face.
Okay.
I am going to do Blade Works. I am flanking. I need 2 green dice, Josh.
Sure, by you.
They're on the bayou?
Yep.
Born on the bayou. Oh, good. A good roll to start. All right, so that is a 16 that I rolled.
Beat him by 1. You get +2 for flanking. You get +2 because you're beating him +5 for the flank bonus. Now symbols.
Symbols are, I'm going to use the star to gain 1 SP.
Okay.
Additionally, I'm going to do 2.
I have disease immunity on my character, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry. I also get +1 on my attack rolls because of perfect.
Okay, so you're at 11.
2 from the books, plus another 3, 4 from the shields.
17.
That's it.
Okay.
Just 17.
Plus 4 for his armor.
Oh, yeah, plus 4 for his armor, so 21.
21.
And say it with me. 21, 21, 21.
21. Sorry. Joshua, how much damage did you do?
27.
Okay, so I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to count to see if me sitting here twiddling my thumbs does more damage than you. So 4.
I'm going to tap my...
Well, you're at 8 because you helped me too, Ann.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
gonna
does
do-
that mean you're actually at 23? Yes. Okay.
I'm going to
good.
tap my false idol. I'm going to attack again.
So you get +4 to this roll?
Yeah.
Is it +1 physical damage or +1 to your roll?
Plus 1 to my roll.
It's +1 to your roll?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Oh, yes, baby. Rolled a 17.
So it's a 21. You're beating it by 6.
Wait. It's a what?
21.
21.
7.
+2, +5, then your symbols.
Plus 6, 7, 8, 12.
2, 25. Plus his 4 armor,
29.
29.
Okay.
How much damage does he have?
223. Oh, how much damage does he have?
Yeah.
He has 87.
Okay. Because some stuff
77,
happens when he
77.
hits a certain damage
Yeah, when he
level.
gets 100, it will trigger something.
Yes.
All right.
Bad.
So
Because that's all it ever is.
I'm going to spend 3 SP to Onslaught.
Okay.
So I'm attacking 3 times now.
Yep.
If
So this is +5 to your
Matthew
roll.
hits 100 points of damage while still in his turn, does the red text trigger, or
Yeah.
does he finish his turn first?
The red text triggers mid-turn. I believe. Why? Did you spoiler it? Do you know what
Sure.
happens?
No. No, it's actually quite difficult to read the red text
All right,
in
so
the image.
bad roll.
But you get +5.
13 plus 5 is 18.
18.
So still
you're beating
beating
it
it
by
by
3,
3.
beating it by 2, beating it by 5, plus another 5. So you're at 10,
Plus 4.
+4 for his armor.
Plus 4
symbols.
from this.
18.
All right. Okay. It's 95 damage.
Okay.
This is my second attack.
This is plus...
Can you write it down? Because we're
7?
going to wind up forgetting at some point.
I believe we're at +7 now.
I'll take your word for it. I rolled 1 less than last time, but that's fine. Oh, did you give my +1 for perfect last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're at +6 right now. Sorry.
Okay, so I rolled a 12.
plus 6 is 18. You beat it by 3. Plus 2, plus 5, plus 4, plus your symbols.
2.
16.
Okay.
What's a 16, Matt?
Okay.
And we read some text now, right?
Yeah, red text now. The Shadow Lord destroys the columns of his throne room so he can get a better view of you. Replace any obstructing terrain within his sphere of influence with hindering terrain. Oh.
You're still flanking with Kitty.
Oh, yeah. And so I wouldn't be flanking unless Mr. Kitty was there. So you're doing more damage.
So, how many?
Josh, can you replace the terrain?
I don't. Basically, all the terrain on the board.
Pretty much.
Let's just say all the.
That's
it's
fine.
just hindering terrain.
Yeah, we'll say that. That's fine. All right, so this is my third attack. This is plus 7 to the roll?
Yeah, plus 7 to the roll.
Okay. Oh, yeah, baby. I rolled a 14.
So that's 21 beating it by 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5. So you're at 17 plus symbols.
8.
8.
25.
25.
25.
So, wait. So that was 4, 5, 6 times 4 is plus flanking is more than Josh, right? Did we hit that yet? Was it more than 23? Okay, just checking.
Okay. So then I'm going to do my hangover elixir. So I'm going to activate one of my abilities that costs 3 SP or less.
Okay. So for another onslaught.
3 more attacks.
It's plus 8 this time.
Plus 8. So that was a bad roll. But I am now going to use my liar's dice, and I am going to change this 5 to a 9.
Yeah, that's 11. It's still a hit. Okay.
At this point, I'm exhausting it, so that way I can swap it out for more stuff that's going to allow me to do more attacks.
Okay.
So that is a 15.
Okay.
Plus what?
Plus 8.
23.
23. You beat it by 8. Plus 2, plus 5, plus 4, plus symbols.
4, 5, 9.
28.
28. So it's 4 there. 6. Okay.
Attack number 2.
Roll a 12.
12 plus 9. It's 21, beating it by 6. Plus 2, plus 5, plus 4. We're at 17 plus symbols.
4. Say it.
21.
Say it. And.
21, 7. I can't, you need to, now you're going to have to make a clip.
Third
You have
attack.
to make a soundbite.
Plus 10.
Oh, Jesus. 16.
So 26, beating it by 11. Plus 2, plus 4, plus 5. We're at 22 without symbols.
3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
32 damage.
Oh, my God. How much damage does he have now? Because 200 is another checkpoint, right?
Yeah, I just surpassed the 200 mark. So this is final form. Just kidding. Read the hidden text for fickle playthings again. So he destroys the rest of the stuff in his line of sight. So this is basically where all terrain would have been destroyed anyways.
I guess if there's something in line of sight that was blocking another terrain in line
exactly.
of sight, it was just...
Yeah, but here that would explode all of it essentially. So this is my last one, Josh.
No, that was your.
That
you just did your
oh,
last
okay.
one.
So I'm gonna now Doom Break.
Okay.
It's fine. I have 3 SP. I'm gonna spend them
To do onslaught again.
to do Onslaught again.
Okay, so we're back at 1 plus 11 to this roll.
I rolled a 17.
So that's 28. You're beating it by 13 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4. We're at 24 plus symbols.
6, 7, 8, 12.
36.
Okay.
Attack number 2, we're at plus 12.
I rolled a 16.
16 plus 12 is 28. Beating it by 13 plus 2 plus
Matt,
5
what's your
plus
max
4.
roll?
I'm not done yet.
So we're at 24
Plus
symbols.
3, 4, 5, 6, 10.
34 damage, I believe.
He's got 12 health. I roll again. I rolled a 15.
It's dead. If he only has 12 health, he's dead.
Yeah. So just so you know,
You still have
I still
5
have-
more attacks at least?
I still have 5 more attacks that I could do.
No, 6 more attacks.
Why 6?
You still have 1 more left of your onslaught.
Oh, yeah. I still have 6 more attacks that I could do.
What happens now, Matt?
I was really angry about justice.
What happens in the story?
At least everyone got to go and contribute this time.
Yeah. The Shadow Lord didn't even go.
Oh, yeah, the Shadow Lord didn't go. Not everyone got to go. So angry, it hurts. Because, yeah, I have my Quick and Die. I've got my Fight Drive. Oh, I've also got another Hangover Elixir.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was.
Yeah.
That was the other 3 I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. Also, I didn't use my Masterwork ability, so I could have added +1 to my attack roll at any point in time.
Yeah.
I've also got
Can
my...
you only use that once, or is it? I thought it was passive.
There is a passive one for my crappier weapon, but for the better weapon, which is rare, I couldn't do that one. But this one is a
Very
one-time
tough.
+1, so that's good for early on in that to make sure I don't lose courage. But I didn't need to use it. I also had my forebode, so I could have re-rolled at any time.
Yep. It's dead.
I exploded it.
Your build is stupid.
I can't express how happy it makes me.
Main camera, Matt.
Yeah, main camera.
He's living in his moment.
I'm living
in his moment.
living my best life right now. Win conditions. Shadow Lord is defeated. Each party member gains 1 XP. Fighting the Shadow Lord
For
took
what?
time you didn't have. Mark the story flag. Time is of the essence on the adventure sheet with 1. If there's already a number, add +1 to it. Continue to Visage, page 460. So, 6 more attack. I could have done another. Like, honestly, Josh, the updated version of him has 500 health, right?
Yeah. No.
So
I'll be fine.
I could have still taken him out in 1 turn potentially.
Yeah. So time of the essence is at 3 now. Well, did we get anything else from beating him?
Oh yes, I'm sorry, we did. Besides loot, there's no loot.
Matt's having his moment. You gotta let him revel in it.
Reveal medium hidden card UM52 and gain the Shadow Lord's crown. I get his crown.
Ooh.
Because I'm the king, baby.
Oh God.
10 attacks, 40 damage from Elifie, 50 from post-pillar break flanking. So, and you did 90 damage from me.
Thank you, Shadow Man. Thank you so much.
Look at this sweet crown that I'm wearing now.
You busted your ass to do a bunch of damage, and I sat there and looked cute and did almost a third of your damage.
Yeah. The first time each opponent moves within your sphere of influence during an encounter, they're dealt 3 magic damage. Oh, so Twitch equipping that with Aura of Hate is just extra hateful.
Oh, yeah.
Something walks up to it and it's like, you get 6 damage. Screw you. Do I have the wrong thing here? Yeah, I have the old one. Where did I put the new one? Here. Okay, I got it.
So page 460.
Y'all ready for this, Jelly?
Visage.
And the heart. Yeah, that with
I
the
don't think
heart.
you're ready.
When we get to Act Act 2. Twitch is going to have a very lovely build.
Yeah.
Visage. The Shadow Lord's robed form began to deflate in front of them, like a punctured balloon. Bright blue light escaped from within, draining out onto the floor and filling the room with a faint glow. Zeke watched the others gather around the fallen body, weapons still raised in nervous hands. Zeke didn't care. He ran right past them over to where Justice still lay. She hadn't moved at all.
Nobody did.
He dropped to his knees beside her, jostling her shoulder with one hand. Nothing happened. She didn't respond at all. Her skin was icy under his grip. "Come on, Justice! After all that, you can't be dead!" He pulled one of her wrists free, feeling for a pulse, and found it. She was breathing, too, so faintly he hadn't noticed at first.
Real quick, it took so much time to beat the Shadow Lord that we had to do it time of the essence because we defeated him in one round.
That was like the previous one also, where it's like, you didn't have time for this! You killed it too quickly! What? This took 30 seconds!
Huh?
Justice blinked, opening one eye. The warmth rushed back into her skin, and her breath fogged the air in front of her. Her eyes fluttered, barely open. In front of Justice, her entire vision was taken up by Zeke's concerned face.
Zeke, you came for me.
She muttered. Yeah, of course.
In his pants.
Zeke smiled and pulled her into a
Dumb.
hug. Justice looked over his shoulder.
Where is he? The Shadow Lord.
Zeke pulled away. I exploded him. He tried to stop us, but we weren't having it. We don't leave friends behind.
You killed it?
Duh. Justice sat up, stretching with both arms in turn.
That's not possible.
That's what everyone thought. Zeke rose to his feet, offering his hand so Justice could do the same. Even though she hadn't been killed, Justice looked a bit haunted. Her eyes were wide and darted around the room. Zeke stood nearby, watching her. Are you okay? Zeke asked reluctantly.
No,
She stuttered.
You couldn't have killed that creature. You don't know what it does to people, Zeke.
She glanced around her back. You don't know what I do to people, Zeke said. I had to, I'm sorry. Zeke watched her panicking and wanted to hug her again, but thought better of it. Justice looked scared and paranoid. Sweat was rolling down her face, and she had her arms wrapped around her own body. Justice stood still, shaking and glancing around periodically.
You don't know.
She repeated. The room around them was getting colder and colder by the moment, and Zeke could see Justice's breath in the air. His own breath was fogging the air now, too, and he started to shiver.
Zeke!
Justice suddenly called. Her eyes had gone wide, and she moved to hide behind Zeke, grabbing at his shirt.
He's coming!
Zeke turned just in time to see the corpse of the Shadow Lord begin to rise again. The blue fog that had gathered around them flowed back towards it, filling the robe and inflating it back into a roughly human shape. It rose taller and more imposing than it had been before they fought. No way! It's dead! It isn't dead? How couldn't it be dead? Zeke said in a panic, looking up at the creature as it towered above them.
Weapons made by mortals cannot hurt me, though your effort is certainly commendable.
The Shadow Lord hissed. His voice seemed to come from all directions, echoing in the chamber. The group prepared to fight again, but only the creature chuckled. All around it, things began to move. Every single corpse in the room, every skeletal figure, every half-rotten adventurer all moved together. They clambered over each other, rising to their hooves or feet or claws. Many picked up their fallen weapons, as decayed as their owners. An army of dead stood in all directions watching them. The Shadow Lord's laughter boomed so loudly that Zeke covered his ears. Justice hid behind him, confused and scared.
Well, wasn't that entertaining?
The Shadow Lord's voice was so loud it shook the earth above them. Several small bits of stone came loose, tumbling down all around them.
I've not had so much fun in decades.
It turned on Zeke and Justice.
Perhaps I will not kill you after all. Thinking you might be more amusing to me alive. For now.
The Shadow Lord moved closer to Justice and looked down at her small, quivering body.
Though, I must admit,
The creature sighed.
I'll miss your presence, Justice.
Justice began crying, and Zeke couldn't take it anymore. He stepped in and held her. She had no wounds on the surface, but it was obvious that her time spent with the Shadow Lord had done unseen damage.
Leave with your lives.
The Shadow Lord finally said, waving a hand.
It's the least you've earned.
They had everything they'd come for, and the Shadow Lord was offering them a way out, but Zeke couldn't help feel like he wanted to try and kill him again anyways. Can I?
No.
Continue to, my time here is over. Something rumbled far above them. Dust and rock began falling from the ceiling, crashing all around them. The Shadow Lord looked up, as though only mildly interested in the terrible noises being made from somewhere far away.
Well, isn't that interesting?
It looked down at them all, apparently locking its attention on Nightingale.
Seems the citizens of this prison have discovered they're no longer trapped. Except they will want their revenge on Greyhaven for locking them down here with me for so long.
A massive chunk of the ceiling fell on the other side of the room, shattering with a crash.
It will be a massacre, the perfect chance to add souls to my service.
It nodded to Nightingale in a mocking gesture of respect.
Goodbye, young one. I suspect we will meet again.
The Shadow Lord vanished with a flash of bright blue light, taking every ghost with him and plunging the room into darkness. They were alone deep within the Eyrie.
We need to get out of here.
Shayla shouted, as another huge chunk of stone came tumbling down. This one landed in front of the door they'd used to get inside, burying it with a landslide of dirt.
Damn, we can't get trapped down here.
What do we do? Damocles yelled as he sheathed his weapon, preparing for a full-blown sprint.
Suri,
Nightingale yelled.
she can find us a way out.
Do the players have the story flag a new owner?
No.
Continue to I'm safe, page 468.
Suri could lead us out.
Rook agreed, raising his voice so he could be heard over the collapsing cavern. He reached out to her.
Suri, can you hear me?
Suri appeared a second later, little more than a purple mote of light. She brightened as she saw Rook. Suddenly, she was spinning circles around him.
Can you find another way out, like you did with the White Spires?
Rook asked, urgent.
This place is coming down on us.
You're alive.
Suri spun, her form moving through Rook's body and coming out the other side.
Of course.
She grinned.
You humans always get so lost, so I've been keeping track of your path just in case you asked.
Suri bobbed up and down in the air before zipping off towards the throne and down the passage beyond, leaving a glowing trail behind her. Rook felt drained, completely exhausted from everything they'd been through, but even through the pain, they had to push on. They got what they needed, and escape was the only thing in mind now. Continue to back to the surface, page 466.
You're going to need that page later, Matt.
Well, shit. They ran with every last desperate drop of energy they had. It seemed as though the Shadow Lord's magic had been the only thing holding the ancient rooms around his throne together. With it gone, thousands of years of dark history were catching up with it. Whole floors gave way behind them, ceilings crumbled, and caverns collapsed under the weight of the earth above. Time seemed to slow to a crawl as they desperately ran. They were aware of nothing but Suri's light ahead of them, guiding them past potential dangers and avoiding the worst concentrations of monsters. The further they ran, the more familiar the passages became. Ahead, muted rays of light broke through the room. They had finally made it. Together, the group climbed through the exit of the Eyrie. Luckily, anything that might have been trapped below was either escaping through a different exit or had already come this way. Nightingale collapsed on the nearest patch of grass, sucking in air and grasping at her chest. Her lungs burned with each shuddering gasp. Soon after, Zeke followed, collapsing nearby her, breathing just as hard. Shayla's face came into her view, and Nightingale knew what she was going to say.
We can't rest long. We need to keep moving. Greyhaven needs to be warned.
Shayla looked tired, but Nightingale could tell that Shayla was driven by something else, something that Nightingale could relate to, the desire to protect her friends. Somewhere back in Greyhaven, Abigail and Tyrael would be fighting for their own lives, and Shayla was worried about them.
Okay.
Zeke panted and slowly rose from the patch of grass she was on.
Nightingale panted.
Nightingale panted, jeez. Zeke moaned and then got to his feet, and the group continued their pace. Do the players have the story flag helping hand?
Panting.
Yes.
Continue to the flag check below. Do we have a reluctant partnership?
Yes.
Continue to the flag check below. Do the players have the story flag for a greater cause?
No.
Continue to back off, page 467. You know what back off is the opposite of? Bacon.
Kevin Bacon?
What was that? He's not even amused. He just spooked you. That was funny.
Thank you. They hadn't been walking 50 feet through the forest before Zephyr heard a sharp crack from behind the group, followed by a meaty thud. He spun around. Damocles was standing over Echo's limp body on the grass in front of him. "What the hell?" Zephyr shouted, and shoved Damocles away from her. Brea rushed over and dropped to her knees beside Echo to check on her. She was sprawled out and only unconscious. Damocles shook his head, still looking at Echo's limp body. You heard her. She said that the Soul Stitcher was only gone while we were in the Shadow Lord's domain. Or would you rather wait until the Soul Stitcher shows up again and go Super Saiyan on our asses? Zephyr shoved Damocles again. That isn't your call to make, Zephyr shouted. Damocles backed up.
How does he know what Super Saiyan is?
They come from Earth.
They come from Earth, yeah. Damocles stepped back up to Zephyr. You sure as hell weren't going to do it, Damocles growled. You're lucky I didn't just slit her throat and get it over with. A hot rage rushed through Zephyr, and without thinking, his knuckles connected with Damocles' cheek, knocking him back. Damocles let out a howl and charged back at Zephyr. The impact caused Zephyr to fall back as he rebounded, charging into Damocles. The two went to blows, fists flying.
Zephyr!
Shayla's voice pierced through the fighting. Suddenly, hands were on him, pulling him up and away from Damocles. Padrick and Rook were across from him, pulling Damocles back, while Ezra was holding onto his arms, squeezing tightly. Shayla stormed up to Zephyr.
Back off.
She growled.
You're on thin ice as it is, buddy. Don't pull any more shit like this or I'll make certain you're locked up when we get back to Greyhaven.
Ezra leaned in to whisper to Zephyr.
Calm down.
What Ezra said with such enthusiasm.
They're right. I know it hurts, but Echo needs to be restrained. They're not going to kill her. We won't let them.
Zephyr locked eyes with Ezra for a moment and then pushed him away. He turned to look at Shaylas. Just don't hurt her, he said in a dangerous tone. Shaylas turned away from him, pointing at Padrick and Rook.
You two, tie her up. Try something like that one more time, and you'll be in the same cell as Zephyr. Now let's go. We don't have time for this drama.
Continue to Greyhaven revisit.
For your mama.
That's the page that begins on that page.
460.
There was something very wrong with the forest. Zeke noticed it before they had even lost sight of the Eyrie. What had been a vibrant and thriving ecosystem had suddenly changed. Anything that wasn't a sturdy tree had been completely trampled, obscuring the proper trail. Zeke wasn't terribly good at reading tracks, but he didn't need to know... to know that these weren't normal animals. Middara's wildlife might be strange, but they didn't usually rip huge chunks out of trees, light random fires, or shatter boulders as they passed. As they moved closer and closer together as the trek progressed, yet as darkness fell, the danger of the forest never manifested. Zeke didn't hear the call of birds, the chirping insects, or even the territorial bellows of predators. He heard nothing but their own footsteps. They found carcasses, too. Animals torn to shreds and picked to the bone. Shadeless cursed louder with each new corpse they found and refused to let them stop to rest.
Our worst case scenario came true.
She eventually said.
Everything's headed straight for Greyhaven. Maybe they all went the same way out of herding instinct or something.
Nightingale suggested.
Once they get to Greyhaven and see how well defended it is, they'll break.
Greyhaven ain't well defended, Padrick said matter-of-factly. Why should it be? Had the Aegis Stone to keep everything dangerous locked away. Only ancient magic could break a shield like that. Most of the city's guards are peacekeepers. They're totally unprepared for something like this. Zeke wished very much for Nightingale to be right, but as the city came into view, it was very apparent that she hadn't been. This was not the same peaceful city that they had seen from the window in the Amaranthine. The light of glowstones had been replaced with raging fires. Bestial roars mingled freely with terrifying screams.
Shit!
Shaylas muttered.
They're tearing the city apart. This is horrible.
Nightingale covered her mouth, her eyes dancing across the scene. People were screaming, running, fighting, and dying. Creatures were moving in packs through the streets. Small pockets of violent engagements could be seen scattered in various districts.
We have to help them.
Nightingale yelled, drawing her weapon and pointing at a group of civilians who were standing nearby. They screamed as a soul butcher chased them down. She began stumbling down the slope towards a nearby street when she was stopped.
Wait!
Shaylas caught her sister by the arm, yanking her back.
You're in no shape to be fighting. Plus, we can't fight an army of monsters by ourselves. There's hundreds of them. We need to get to the Amaranthian. Help Abigail and Tyrael organize the defense.
We could take an army.
We won't be using the gondolas, Patrick said, pointing. Zeke followed his gesture to the nearby gondola tower, which had collapsed, taking the cables with it. Looking across the city, he couldn't see any of the cables still standing. There's no way we're going to get up to the castle without them, Damocles yelled, spinning around, his own weapon drawn.
I could fly up there.
Remi began.
Ask for them to send...
A sudden explosion cut Remi short. The ground a few feet in front of Zeke exploded, throwing him backwards in a wave of dirt and rock. He shielded his face from a fierce blast of heat as a creature surfaced in front of him, clawing itself out of the ground. It was a massive serpentine form that seemed to be made of living magma and covered with crystal protrusions. It rose up from the ground, towering higher and higher. Its eyes were fixed on Zeke, a pair of dark orange pits. Zeke scrambled to his feet, backing up as fast as he could. Just as the monster was bearing down on him, an explosion shook the air, loud and violent. Zeke covered his face a second time, turning his back to the monster. Several large metal balls hit the monster in quick succession. Zeke opened his eyes in time to see several gaping holes in the monster's side. Its blood was like lava, causing the magma from the wound to splash the roofs of a nearby building, setting them aflame. The beast let out a screech and toppled to its side, sending molten rock splattering through the air like an erupting volcano. Even as he watched, its body cooled and hardened. A familiar airship soared overhead, smoke still rising from its cannons. It stopped, floating in the air above them, and Effie Grand leaned over the edge. The oppressor might not be much compared to some airships, but Effie hadn't skimped on the cannons. Effie's got some cannons.
Welcome to this gun show.
The guns had devastated the monster that had threatened them.
Oi!
Effie yelled, looking down at them.
You're in a bit of a jam down there. Care for a lift? Not a good time to be down in the city.
Please, Zeke shouted back, nodding frantically. Though the lava creature was dead, the explosions caught the attention of more monsters.
You got it.
Effie said enthusiastically, tossing a rope ladder over the ship's railing.
Quickly now. Some of these beasts can fly.
Zeke waited near the back as Nightingale, Shayless Justice, and the others climbed ahead of him. Her small crew helped most of them on board, and he wasn't halfway up the ladder before the airship took off, suddenly lifting upwards. Whoa! Zeke shouted, clinging to the ladder with all of his might, locking both legs around one of the rungs. He nearly lost his grip on the rope as it started to swing. Zeke could hear people shouting at him from above, and when he looked up, he saw Nightingale urging him up. He slowly climbed the rest of the ladder and rolled over the railing. Thanks for the rescue, he muttered, slumped to the wood, still shaking all over. Though, I wish you'd taken it a little slower in the end. Effie grinned down at him from the helm.
If you can't keep up, you get left behind. I like you and all, but not enough to let those monsters grab hold of the rope and pull my baby right out of the sky. Take us to the Emerentian.
Shayless said, pointing.
And hurry. Listen, Princess. This is my ship.
Effie slammed her hand down toward the controls, and they lurched up again.
And we're surrounded by a burning city. You don't need to tell me to hurry.
Man. Little islands and chunks of floating stone blurred past them, but Effie deftly avoided the debris. They slowed with a lurch after clearing the floating rocks, and Effie raised her chin proudly, looking to Shayless.
Fast enough for you, Your Highness?
Effie asked.
That was great.
Shayless commented.
Thanks for the rescue.
Effie leaned on the controls, trying to look casual.
Right place, right time, and all that.
She looked up, suddenly pointing.
Looks like there are a bunch of people out in the battlements. Should I set you down there?
Abigail and Tyrael were there, flanked by 24 soldiers watching the city burn.
No, flanked by shoulders. Yes.
Shayless said.
Pull alongside the wall and let us off. Then find a spot to dock. We might have another job for your ship. Right.
Effie turned, banking into the breeze and moving up the length of the wall.
But I'm not a warship. I can't go down there and fight for the city. One good bit and we're to be toast. I know.
Shayless said, glancing back towards Nightingale.
We might need some transportation after this.
Zeke hurried off with the others, having to jump the last foot or so as the oppressor started drifting away, again leaving a nauseating drop visible below him as he hopped. Abigail glided over to them, shoving through the guards and raising her voice to carry over the wind.
What the hell have you done?
Abigail shouted.
We told you about the Aegis Stone. We told you why the Eyrie had to remain closed.
She stopped only a few feet away from Shayless, fuming.
How the hell did you even destroy it? You better have a goddamn good explanation.
Do the players have the story flag helping hand?
Yes.
Is Zephyr in the party?
Yes.
Continue to brawl, page 470.
Yeah, give me a second. Gamer's so impatient. We didn't do this.
Shayless didn't look away from Abigail.
Podrick, bring her up.
Patrick shoved Echo out of the group to stand beside Shayless. Echo was bound at the wrists and arms. They made very sure her binds were secure.
It's a long story, Abigail, and we don't have time.
Shayless shook her head.
But to sum it up, Echo here broke the Aegis Stone.
She's being controlled by a hostile Esper, Zephyr interrupted. She has no control over her actions.
Is that true?
Tyrael looked to Shayless.
I don't know.
Shayless frowned.
Maybe.
Tyrael stepped forward.
Guards, take her.
Tyrael motioned, and a pair of guards hurried forward, grabbing Echo roughly by the arms. Can you stick to one highlighter color per character?
Sorry.
You bounce back and forth, and I get confused about who should be saying things.
So sorry.
He can't
I
tell.
highlighted so many pages
I
today,
know.
Matt. It's just...
You've been very good.
And my blue highlighter died midway. That's why the blue changed colors partway through, because it wasn't even working anymore.
Be careful, Damocles urged. The Esper was driven off, but we have no idea for how long. You need to lock her up tight. Echo's a victim here, as much as any of you, Zephyr argued.
God, we should have left him.
If she broke the Aegis Stone, what's the cause? Whatever the cause, she'll be held accountable.
Tyrael said, stepping towards Zephyr. They eyed each other carefully.
I won't take any chances.
You can't blame her for the actions of a monster, Zephyr said. She would not do this of her own accord.
I don't care what she would or wouldn't do.
Tyrael yelled.
Look at the city. How many people are going to die because of what she did? She'll be punished.
Zephyr took a step closer. You can't. Nightingale rushed forward, taking hold of Zephyr's arms.
This isn't the time.
She pleaded.
Whatever happens to Echo, we need to lock her up in case the Soul Stitcher returns. Greyhaven is burning. This isn't the time to decide what's going to happen to your girlfriend.
Zephyr shrugged Nightingale off and took a step back. He looked at Nightingale and nodded slightly. You're right, he said quietly.
We have a secure cell. We have a secure cell that will do for now.
Tyrael interrupted them, turning away and gesturing to a nearby stairwell.
Let's go. We have much to discuss.
Continue to fixing this, page 473. Nightingale had a hard time appreciating the opulence of the Amaranthine throne room, not with the chaos the city was suffering through. The throne room's spectacular open sides only permitted a better view of the devastation. Many of the guards had joined them on their way to the top, weapons alert and watching the night sky for any sign of attack.
There's no chance of holding the city without the Aegis Stone,
said one of the guards.
We're evacuating as you ordered, concentrating as many citizens as we can in the Amaranth.
How's the food situation?
Abigail asked, taking her seat in the dark
Priority.
throne. She didn't sit relaxed in it, and as she had during the first time Nightingale had been there. She was perched on the edge, ready to snap into action at a moment's notice.
Can we survive a siege?
With respect, Lady Abigail, a siege is the least of our worries. My last casualty report stood at 200, and that was an hour ago. We'll be dead before a siege even starts. This isn't a mindless flood. These creatures have been waiting for their revenge. They fight with coordination. We need to replace the Aegis Stone,
Tyrael said.
or any defense we make is doomed.
Remind me again where it came from, Damocles said, looking up at the massive stained glass roof. Something about the dragon, right? Yeah, Zeke said. My parents. They convinced a demon named Rubicant to send them into Arcala. They killed a dragon, used its heart, made the Aegis Stone. Zeke stepped forward. My dad's dead, and there's no way we can wait for my mom, so that leaves me. Hopefully this demon will still feel, I don't know, some sort of debt to the family, and it'll do for me what it did for them.
Hey, how's that not happening?
Shayless frowned.
Are you kidding? After everything we just went through? You guys aren't ready for our Kala?
Tyrael put a hand on Shayless's shoulder and looked around the room.
Charles, they just survived a trip into the Erie. I don't think there's anyone, Elena, more ready than they are. Besides, Zeke wants to follow in his parents' footsteps. It's his choice.
Shayless took a deep breath.
I can't let you do this alone, at least. I can't let anything happen to you, or Mother would have my head or Pike. Balthazar had many kids, but Lo only had 2. If our families are not going to bond through marriage like everyone wants, we should at least watch each other's backs.
Patrick stepped up next to her. Well, I'll come too! He smiled at her. I mean, rarely do we got a good reason to go to Arcala. Abigail rose to her feet in a rush, moving to join them.
I'm coming too. Greyhaven is my city.
Tyrael rose behind her, resting one hand on her shoulder.
Abigail, you can't. Greyhaven won't last long without us. As many of us who can need to stay behind. We have to hold out as long as possible. We need to give them enough time to replace the Aegis Stone before we're overrun. If both leaders of Greyhaven suddenly disappear, things might look bad. Morale couldn't
Take it.
We need to be careful about this. We need as many people here holding the city as possible, especially since...
Both leaders?
Abigail asked. Tyrael nodded.
You need to take the fastest airship to Kastikoff?
Kastikoff.
It's the closest city to us. Ida
Jong
could send help. We could raise an army there, maybe bring it back. We can't both be gone. You could bring only 2 or 3 guards. The rest will stay here. We must protect the Amaranth at all costs if anything reaches the float core.
Why are you staying and making me leave? It's your family that runs Kastikoff.
Abigail asked incuriously.
I'm no damsel in distress who needs protecting.
But I am.
Tyrael replied with a smile. Shayless and Patrick shared a look with Abigail, and the 3 stared at Tyrael, confused.
Don't you see? My family will have no choice to send help if I'm the one at risk. If you think young Zhang would sit by if he knew I was here, you're crazy.
Abigail took a deep breath and nodded, despite looking obviously disappointed.
Yeah, you're right.
She stepped back and sat in her chair. Why not just leave? Damocles asked. Abigail's wings fluttered for a brief moment, and she turned to him with a frown.
The float core. It's keeping the Amaranthian floating. If the float core were to be destroyed, the entire Amaranthian falls, and the city beneath it would be destroyed. Moreover, all the people we are evacuating up here will die. It's not like we could get thousands of people evacuated on the few airships we have. It won't come to that.
Shayless said.
We'll head to Arcala, you'll get reinforcements, and Tyrael will protect the Amaranthian. We can fix this.
Can't I just kill everything?
No, you're not allowed.
You can kill every one thing, and that's it.
I mean, they just need to equip Zeke with 1,000,000 hangover elixirs, and he'll just kill everything. He'll have enough power to slay the every Shadow Lord in existence. Do the players have the story flag Soul Judgment?
No.
Continue to Let Me Help, page 474. I don't have that.
Oh.
Did you not highlight the right things?
I might have done the wrong story here.
Oh no, Joshua. Okay. I'll read this. I got us, fam.
Oh no, we do have Soul Judgment. Sorry.
What?
We do have Soul Judgment.
That's not what...
That's the flag you just asked about.
Oh, then why did you lie to me?
I misread.
Do we have Last of her Coterie?
No.
Coterie? Whatever. What's wrong with her? Page 475. Nightingale held on to one of the pillars with one hand to keep herself upright as she watched Tyrael make his way out. She was exhausted, barely conscious, and she wasn't the only one. It was a miracle that had even survived their trip to the Erie. Abigail stopped as he reached the edge of the transport pad that would take her down, glancing over her shoulder.
What about the rest of you?
Nightingale was the first to answer.
I'm going with them, obviously.
She let go of the pillar, making her way to where Zeke and Shayla stood in the center of the room. The world rushed up to meet her as she dropped to one knee and everything started swaying. Zeke hurried over, offering a hand and helping her back to her feet.
You can barely walk,
Tyrael said, watching as Nightingale struggled to right herself. Shayless folded her arms, glaring at Nightingale.
Don't lie, Knight. The Maluma might take complete control at any moment. That's not okay. And it's not the kind of weakness we can afford going into our Kala. You should come with me to Kasakov.
Abigail suggested.
Zeke's mother, Ida, may know more about your condition. Even if they don't, you would be safer there if Greyhaven falls.
Nightingale didn't hear the rest of the conversation that was going on. The Maluma appeared beside her, its horrific outline solidified from shadow, warping around the nearest pillar before passing over Justice's head.
I have a proposal,
It said, its voice clearer than any other sound in the room.
information you may not have considered.
Yeah, I got a proposal for you, too.
Nightingale said, watching as the Maluma drifted over towards the railing, as though it, too, watched the destruction of the city. She didn't consider whether or not anyone around her could hear her speak. The world around her was gone, and all she could see and hear was the Maluma. She threw it a rude gesture.
You get out of my body, I'll send you straight to hell.
The Maluma laughed, all of its mouths working at once. Each of them produced a slightly different voice, and they didn't speak in unison. If the Maluma was a choir, it was an enormously discordant one.
The seeds of my desire are already in your mind, though you do not recognize them.
She felt a hand on her shoulder and spun around violently. Shayless's face came into focus suddenly.
What's going on, sis?
Shayless asked, looking concerned. Nightingale blushed, realizing at that moment that every single person in the throne room had seen and heard her. She felt like she was going crazy, and it was obvious that the others were thinking it too.
It's the Maluma.
Nightingale admitted.
It wants to make an offer. Oh,
Shayless let go, smiling slightly. Shayless turned to face
You-
where the Maluma had been.
you can shove whatever offer you were going to make straight up your ass.
You might say otherwise if you heard it.
The Maluma solidified in a bright flash of magic, drawing even more of what little strength Nightingale had left. Nightingale gasped, but before she could fall to her knees, Remi jumped over and grabbed her, holding her upright. All around the room, guards drew their weapons. Abigail jumped to her feet. Mouths opened and closed as she stared.
Guards!
Tyrael shouted.
Surround that thing.
Won't do any good.
Remi put up her hand.
We can't hurt it. But the good news is that it won't hurt us either.
The guards looked at each other anxiously, but still surrounded the grotesque form of the Maluma. The Maluma's amorphous shape seemed to drift towards Remi, undulating as it went like a pseudopod of a gigantic amoeba.
Even beings.
Joshua, can you read that last sentence?
So I was going to ask that too.
The pseudopod of a dynamic amoeba.
You started out good. You said pseudopod right.
Even beings as mindless and mechanical as humans can be conditioned to the correct response with enough repetition. Balance between us would serve no purpose. Powerless rulers of this insignificant city.
It turned back on Nightingale, all of its eyes suddenly focusing on her.
I made an error in judgment, Nightingale. I have treated you as every host I have inhabited before. I imagined you were as weak as they were, yet you have proven yourself both competent and resilient. Traits I did not expect. I would now be honest with you and expect the same honesty in return. Is that possible?
Not from you.
And disappeared. Oh, there you are. Remi growled, holding Nightingale closer. Nightingale's eyes rolled in the back of her head in a fleeting moment of nausea that overtook her. She braced herself on Remi with a shaky hand and turned towards the Maluma.
Honesty? Have I ever lied to you?
The creature's eyes blinked individually, as if each eye was a different monster inhabiting the same horrible body. Then it spoke.
I suppose not. Consider what I have to say, then, and judge my words for yourself.
The Maluma shrank a little in the air, becoming half of its previous size.
Sharon did not create me, nor did he enslave me. I chose to serve him because he promised me something no other could. Safety from the great bounty. You have now learned of its dangers, Nightingale. You have seen its enforcers, and the terrible retribution they bring upon those who violate the sanctity of the realms. I have long taken interest in this world, yet all I have done here has been accomplished in fear and shadow. Sharon promised me a body of my own so that I might remain on Middara forever, hidden from those that mean me harm.
I'm sure that's working out great for you.
Remi said, venomous.
Indeed.
The Maluma sounded reluctant.
Sharon is little more than a corpse in the suspended tomb, put there by his enemies, the Anointed. His power has wandered tremendously over the last decade. Many of his servants are dead or imprisoned. There is no reason for me to tie my fate to that of a dead god, if others can get me what I want instead. Wait,
Tyrael lowered his sword.
the suspended tomb? You mean the one floating off the coast of the south? That's been there since before Elania was founded. Yes.
Again, the Maluma sounded reluctant.
The Anointed were more successful than anyone should have been. Safar should have failed. He should have been ground into the bloodstain years ago. Yet that was not the case due to Sharon's sentimental personality.
All you want is a permanent body, then?
Nightingale asked.
So you can safely stay on Middara? What could you possibly offer in return?
The Maluma turned on her again, causing Remi to stumble back. It curled around Nightingale with its many eyes and teeth as though it were going to swallow her.
I would offer you two different things. First, I would offer you your life. You must realize by now how close I am to claiming your body and mind. This deal will give you the chance to save your life. All you must do is provide me a willing vessel. A body that will accept me, one that is human, one that the great bounty won't suspect. If you provide one, I would willingly relinquish yours.
Nightingale shivered. That was a high price. She couldn't imagine passing on the nightmare of living with the Maluma to someone else. She couldn't imagine any way to go at all to get a body that wouldn't involve something terrible. But she listened anyways.
What's the second thing?
She asked.
I can tell you where the last piece of the Pontifex is.
Nightingale froze. She felt like her heart stopped for a moment as a ray of hope she hadn't felt in ages gripped her. She could almost feel tears welling up behind her eyes. It was possible for them to find the last piece. It was out there. The last piece was somewhere they could find. Nightingale held up a hand and smiled.
You have my word?
She said.
What?
Remi moved to try and object, but Nightingale threw her a wild look.
You don't get to choose.
Nightingale screamed.
None of you do. Or does one of you have a better idea? You think I'll live until we get to Greyhaven? I can feel the Maluma.
Nightingale began sobbing.
I can feel it in my head. I'm losing myself. We don't have time to choose any other option if you want me to live.
Then we agreed.
The Maluma spoke softly. Nightingale nodded, ignoring the wicked grin that spread across its many mouths, its fierce teeth flashing at her. It suddenly seemed to shift and expand in the air, back to its normal size. Nightingale felt like she was seeing excitement from the creature for the first time.
The final piece of the Pontifex is located in the crypts beneath the white spires. It was my target the night you met my previous host.
The Maluma said finally.
Really?
Nightingale swore under her breath and wiped at her face with a bare arm.
We could have been done already?
I suspected the Vault Lord Hargrafar recognized my intentions and moved the artifact before we arrived the following day.
The Maluma continued.
Else you might indeed have gotten rid of me.
We should already be done with this, Zeke shouted up at the Maluma. Damn it, why didn't you say something? And what's the banging in the background?
Oh, Aaron and the pot.
Oh. Aaron smoking pot again?
Yeah.
The Maluma didn't answer. Its outline fizzed, then it vanished with a pop, and one last whisper into Nightingale's mind.
Our promise is struck. Remember this bargain, or the stay of your execution will be lifted.
Does this party at the story flag a new owner?
No.
Continue to a shaky proposition, page 478. Justice shivered, forcing herself to speak up.
Oh my god.
She hugged her tome a little tighter, as though it was a stuffed doll.
If you can get all 3 pieces, I should be able to use them to get the Maluma out and seal it into a new body.
That's good.
Rook said, watching her with obvious concern.
But where will we get a body?
Justice shook her head.
I don't know. That's a different problem.
Yeah, people tend to be a little attached to their bodies.
Rook said.
That's something we'll definitely need to figure out.
Why not just force it out and kill it instead?
Well, we need the Pontifex piece in either case. Damocles shook his head, one hand on his hip. So let's just focus on getting it. Suri appeared beside Rook in a violent flash of light. In a flash of violet light. Jesus. Bright enough to overcome the chandelier of glowstones far overhead. She provoked a few stares from Tyrael and Abigail, but no questions.
I still remember the path you took in the White Vault.
Suri said.
If you go, Rook, I can help you find it. The sooner we put an end to this, the sooner you can be out of constant danger.
She smiled at him, twisted in the air.
That's definitely the plan.
Rook said, glancing back at Nightingale.
I'm a little tired of the danger. Nightingale, Justice, and I are going to the vaults.
All of you?
Shayless interrupted.
For speed's sake, only Zeke, Podrick, and I will head to Arkala. The rest of you go with Nightingale.
Damocles placed a hand on Nightingale's shoulder. She looked up at him, surprised. We've got this. Whatever this holographer thing is, he's not the Shadow Lord. We just survived the Eerie. We'll find the way through the vaults. Yeah, they're going to take everyone except for Zeke. They're like, yeah, it's fine. We survived the Eerie totally as a team. Sorry.
So salty.
Where was I? He didn't know how awful Holographer was, nor did he have any idea what was going deep into the vaults, white vaults of Elenia meant. But Nightingale found herself smiling despite that. Damocles looked so optimistic, and she couldn't bring herself to ruin it. What does a Holographer look like anyways? Damocles asked cautiously as he looked around at all of the others. Rook raised a hand with a grim expression, but Nightingale cut him off with a smile.
It looks like an orc from Dungeons and Dragons.
She joked. Easy peasy, let's go kick its ass! Damocles hyped himself while Remi and Rook gave Nightingale a flat look. Rook leaned in close.
You'll need to tell him that it's actually a horrific murder machine eventually.
Sure,
Nightingale
sure.
waved him away.
Let me enjoy his optimism for now, though.
Well, there's a nice good picture of Hogarth in the bottom.
Oh, is
The
that
Holographer?
is that
yeah,
Holographer?
remember him at the beginning
Yeah.
of the game?
No,
The giant head with the fingers coming out?
not really.
It might have been a matless Middara Monday.
It might have been.
Is Zephyr in the party?
Yes.
Continue to give me a chance. Page 480.
That's not everything we have to talk about.
Shayless interrupted, just as everyone began splitting into groups. They stopped and stared at her. She stopped in front of Zephyr.
We need to talk about you.
Zephyr straightened slightly.
After everything you've done, do you just expect to waltz out of here like our beloved ally?
Shayless asked.
Like you're here to save the day with us?
I am here to save the day, if that's how you want to phrase it, Zephyr said. Just because you don't agree with my methods doesn't mean they're not valid.
Your methods have invoked putting my sister's life into danger.
Shayless yelled.
Of course I don't agree with them. You had sentenced this city to death to further your crusade against an entity that I don't even know exists, and you expect me... He's real.
Nightingale interrupted.
Both the Maluma's and Zephyr's stories match up. I don't agree with his methods either, but I think he's been telling the truth. Fine.
Shayless said irritably.
Karen or no, you can't take people's lives into your hands at your own discretion.
Your sister's life. Greyhaven. Zephyr held his hand out, waving it around him. That's not all that's at stake here. Zephyr's voice was perfectly calm against her rage. If Sharon's agents assemble the full Pontifex, they will free him from his prison. If he is free, he will destroy all of Elenia. Reluctantly, I'll admit that so far... Zephyr stopped mid-sentence to look at Nightingale. The princess has proven me wrong. While the Maluma is one of Sharon's agents, it isn't controlling her yet. I mean no harm as long as she remains free from its control. You have my word. Nightingale shifted under his stare. Ezra and Brea had joined him now and were standing at his back. Both looked dangerous, like they were ready to make a move if needed.
Save that page, Matt. We're gonna come
I
back
don't
to it.
trust your word.
Shayless responded. Zephyr looked back at her. With all due respect, Princess, your opinion of me or my honesty makes no difference. This city burns, your sister is dying, and Sharon is behind it all. He looked back at Nightingale again. I have the same goals as you. The only difference is I'm willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish them. You've seen this firsthand. Shayless put her fingers on the bridge of her nose and took a deep breath.
I say we lock them up. The whole lot of them are crazy. Nightingale, what do you think? I'll defer to you on this.
He'll never let me go. He'll never let you go.
The Maluma growled in the back of Nightingale's head. Nightingale looked to her friends, unsure what to do.
Thoughts?
She squeaked, hoping someone had some advice. The party must make a decision. Lock the anointed up, they can't be trusted, or they might still be useful. Let them help.
Ugh. I think we should let them out, even though I hate them.
Oh,
He's annoying.
Yeah, I figured you would be chanting, lock them up, lock them up.
No, I mean, I just want to leave him behind when he's annoying, but like now he's, whatever. He's nobody's in danger of what he's gonna put at risk, or his girlfriend's already locked up. I think he's better when they're separated. He's less annoying. Just needs to shut up.
What about Sharon?
He's been alive a really long time. If he's been alive before the country was born.
Yeah. If he put Sharon in, like, they're just like,
That's
oh, yeah. They're just like, yeah, Zephyr did this. And he's just standing there like, yeah, I totally did. I've been telling you guys. You don't listen.
I've been alive thousands of years.
I'm so damn old.
Switch is just like, the companion benefits are nice.
Yeah. Ooh. Fitty.
It just switched.
Oh, no. More for letting him help. That is kind of funny, though, that Zephyr was just standing there, and they're telling this story about how, like, oh, yeah, that's been there since before this country was even founded, before anyone, like, knew about it. And Zephyr did it. And, like, they didn't think to be like, that guy?
The Maluma's the one that said Zephyr did it.
But still, it could be like, that guy?
If it tied Paul.
Ooh.
Can you not make those weird noises?
Ooh. It's not tied anymore. Should be ended any second.
Where's this stupid? All right, Matthew.
All right. They say they are still helpful.
He had his... Oh, no. He's an asset?
Yes.
479. Nightingale hesitated, looking away from her sister and up at Tyrael.
Zephyr is dangerous, but he's a powerful asset. I know he's a little crazy, but I think that if he comes with me, he can help with Hografar. Are you serious?
Shayla's asked, stunned.
After everything he's done? He wants to get rid of the Maluma as much as I do.
Nightingale said, meeting Shayla's eyes. Though she didn't agree with Zephyr's actions, she saw the merit in them. She couldn't condemn him to prison because he did what he thought was best for Elenia.
And his friends?
Tyrael asked.
They follow him.
Nightingale said.
Besides, they are a stabilizing influence on Zephyr and his fervor. They can come with us and help, or go back to the Anointed. They're definitely not as dangerous or crazy.
Is that what you want?
Tyrael gestured to the guards. I don't know what that
Zephyr
says.
gave a
Deferential nod to Nightingale that she found oddly satisfying.
We know where the last piece of the Pontifex is.
Nightingale smiled.
I want you to come with me and help recover it.
She looked to Brea and Ezra.
If you'd like to accompany us, you would be welcome. If not, we can go back to the anointed. It's up to you.
Ezra looked to Brea, who gave him a quick nod.
We'll come. Anything the shop's sharing.
He said resolutely.
I have a few conditions.
Nightingale said, pointing a finger.
You help me get rid of the Maluma. Then, you can do whatever you want with the Pontifex. Get both of them and yourself out of my life for good.
Zephyr nodded. Gladly!
All right, so we're going back to that page, Matt. I had you hold to the side.
Continue to who are you?
Who?
I really want to know!
No.
Effie came up to the
Are you
transport
gonna open
platform.
this up with Horatioism?
What?
Are you going to open this next story up with Horatioism?
Looks like this stream has been some. Let me think of a good one here. It looks like Anne interrupting me has been unintentional. Wah! What?
So bad.
Effie came up to the transport platform like a blur, shooting into the throne room and stumbling right into Tyrael. Effie righted herself quickly, bowing and backing up.
Sorry. I didn't see where I was going.
Tyrael frowned at her.
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you? He reached down, trying to brush the grime off his clothes.
I'm sure my guards had good reason to let you up here.
Yeah.
She grinned proudly.
My name is Epigrand. I run the ferry through the Middle Passage. I also saved all their lives.
Effie pointed back to the rest of the group.
You won't find a better pilot anywhere in Elania.
Great.
Tyrael said blandly, waving her away.
You may go.
Wait! Zeke shoved his way over to her. We need an airship. We actually need Effie's airship. She goes through the Middle Passage, exactly where we need to be.
I'll need our own ship to make it to Kastakoff in time.
Abigail said, eyes narrowed as she looked back to Effie.
I'm sure you want extra compensation for this. It's not just a ferry trip. Zeke intends to confront the lesser demon Rubicant directly, and the rumors about that demon are pretty verified. You don't need to tell me.
Effie raised an eyebrow.
I know more about that passage than almost anybody. He knows what I want.
Effie motioned to Zeke.
He can tell you exactly what sort of compensation I'm looking for.
Zeke looked confused. Zeke looked confused for a moment until he remembered the card in his pocket. He slowly pulled it out. It was crumpled and stained, torn in a few places as well. Standing in front of Effie, he felt embarrassed for having destroyed it so thoroughly. She didn't comment. Instead, she snatched it from his hand and darted forward. Effie thrust this card in Tyrael's face.
I want this.
My mind went somewhere very different with the way that was read. She said. Tyrael looked at it and blinked a few times, trying to smooth the card out.
You want Abraxas cards for dangerous flight into the Middle Passage?
Effie's face went from excited to annoyed.
I want what's on the card, you dope.
She grabbed it from him and folded her arms.
You want a battleship?
Tyrael looked shocked. Effie grinned wildly as she saw the surprise dawn on his face.
You've got a prince looking for a demon. All to save a city that's on fire because it's being attacked by hordes of monsters. One airship upgrade seems a teeny tiny price to pay for such a huge favor.
Tyrael looked to Zeke, who just shrugged.
Okay.
Tyrael said after a moment.
I mean, if you pull this off, why not?
Effie jumped up and pumped her fist into the air.
Yeah, buddy. Boom like a big shot.
She grabbed Zeke and forced him into a violent hug before skipping away back towards the transport platform.
I'll be ready to watch. It was just.
Zeke looked slightly traumatized by the event and glanced at Tyrael like he was going to be in trouble. He just patted him on the back.
Good luck with that, cousin.
Tyrael said. He moved past Zeke to hug Shayless and Patrick. Abigail hurried over and hugged them as well, waving at everyone else.
Good luck. Be safe. Greyhaven is depending on you.
Continue to official airship, page 481.
Oh, that might have been one of the pages you tossed the floor mat.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
you
in front of me.
saved it.
You just didn't highlight this.
I didn't
highlight this at all.
No.
Oops.
No.
Sorry.
The oppressor launched without fanfare. Nightingale found herself a place to lean off the railing and watch the city below, getting a good look at the chaos she'd been at least partially responsible for causing. Most of the fires had died down, though there was an outer quarter of the city where they raged completely out of control. The engines, the wind, and the altitude covered up the sound of battle as it began to disappear into the distance. The smell of fire had a twinge of flesh on it. How many people are going to die stuck in their homes? She smelled something else on the air.
In the air.
Cigarette smoke? Nightingale looked up and found Zeke watching from over the railing beside her. He puffed on a cigarette. Is that me or...
That's Nightingale.
Okay.
I must really be out of it. I didn't even notice your spank.
Nightingale side.
Hold on.
Forever a hater.
Forever a hater, Zeke smiled as he made his way over. It's okay. I won't tell people that you secretly like the smell of my menthols. Nightingale rolled her eyes.
Hey, Zeke.
Yeah?
Are you a little excited?
Hey. Nightingale hesitated as she asked, to fight a dragon? Hell yeah! Zeke took a long drag and puffed out as much smoke as he could. Nightingale glanced up to meeting his eyes.
No, I mean, you get to follow your dad's footsteps a little. This is kind of the first time you get to see something he's done firsthand.
Zeke was quiet a moment, taking a few more drags before answering. You excited to get rid of the Maluma? He finally asked.
That's a different question.
Zeke shook his
I asked
head.
Aaron to put this ice cream in a bowl, and I've got 2 different ice creams. And so he took the ice cream cart and stacked them on top of each other and handed me the bowl back.
Zeke shook his head. Not really. He took one last long breath, then flicked the burning ember over the edge of the airship. Together they watched the faint glow fade away. We're both facing these huge, overwhelmingly personal tasks. Maybe for Patrick and Shayless, going to kill the dragon is just about saving Greyhaven. Or maybe it's their allegiance to Abigail and Tyrael. Those 4 obviously have history.
But you get a chance to find out a little more about what your dad went through.
Nightingale said.
You get to connect with him, even though you'll never get to meet him.
Yeah, Zeke agreed. And for Remi, getting the Pontifex will help you out. And Damocles wants revenge. But none of us can know what having the Maluma is like. None of us can know what being free of that means. These are just 2 really heavy things for us to handle. Yeah, sure, they're different. They're heavy in different ways, but they're heavy.
And exciting.
Nightingale said quietly. Zeke grinned and put an arm around her shoulder. He looked into her eyes and could see that she was had that spunky spark that he loved about her. It seemed the Maluma was relenting, like it said it would. Hell yeah, they're exciting, he said with a smile. Scary as shit, but exciting too.
What about her?
Nightingale asked, looking behind Zeke. He turned and saw Justice looking out over the horizon. She had her eyes closed as wind whipped against her short hair, messing it up more than it already was. Nightingale and Zeke watched as Justice thumbed at the second piece of the Pontifex hanging on a strap at her chest. What about her? Zeke asked, smiling.
Do you think she's going to be okay?
Nightingale turned her attention back to Zeke.
I mean, We don't know what the Shadow Lord put her through.
She's strong, Zeke assured her. Look at what she's already gone through. Hell, look at what we've all just been through. She'll be okay, Knight.
I hope so.
Nightingale sighed, a sense of melancholy overwhelming her. A voice suddenly called to them, and they turned to see Effie bouncing behind the platform. Up behind them.
Hey! We're getting to the point of no return. Like, super dangerous, scary territory. You sure you don't want to back up?
Do you? Zeke asked.
What I want is my battleship.
Effie answered.
So I don't want you to bitch out.
Zeke waved a dismissive hand. Yeah. Effie put a hand on her hip.
I'm serious, Zeke Zhang. You better survive. No Zeke means no battleship.
Our mission is clear, Captain Effie Grand, Zeke said, saluting as dramatically as he could. Full speed ahead! Effie didn't look amused.
All right. Rest while you can. It's going to get real dangerous soon.
Reward! You've just saved Justice and retrieved the second piece of the Pontifex. Reveal medium hidden card UM53 and gain the second piece of the Pontifex story relic. Special, all injured party members are no longer injured. Justice has been saved. She's no longer unselectable. We got the second piece of the Pontifex. Passive, when determining the force of a spell, if a skull is rolled, your spell still fails to affect the target, but you are not dealt any magic damage. So that allows you to empower your spells without hurting yourself.
Blow back.
Continue to Heart of the Dragon, page 482. Nightingale found her sister near the bow of the ship, leaning heavily on the railings and letting one hand drag through the clouds in front of them. Shaylis glanced up briefly.
Hey, sis.
Shaylis said. She smiled an exhausted grin.
Still awake, I see. Yeah.
Nightingale leaned beside her, staring out into the night sky. There was no more city beneath them, just endless crags of unfriendly rock lost in the clouds below.
Do you really think this Arcala thing can work?
Shaylis shrugged.
I've heard I had to tell stories about it. Not in detail, but...
She hesitated.
It won't be easy. I mean, it's going to be hard as it sounds. Convincing a demon to send us into another world, to kill a dragon and bring its heart back, I mean, it's insane.
She looked at Nightingale and her eyes softened.
What about you? Your trip doesn't sound much easier.
Nightingale shrugged back at her, staring out into the clouds.
The Maluma is keeping true to its word so far. It hasn't bothered me at all.
She shrugged. She hugged the railing and leaned over to look down.
As long as it keeps doing so, I think having to deal with the Hografar is less intimidating than a demon or a dragon. At least we've seen it before. You guys are going in blind.
Shayla shook her head.
We'll make it through. I'm starting to think our family's legacy is one of dumb luck rather than cleverness or sheer power.
She chuckled. Nightingale let Shayla's pull her into a hug.
When we get through all of this, you're getting to the Demiurge. No questions asked.
Shayla smiled, stepping back.
I don't think any of us could have handled the Maluma the way you have. That's worth more than any adventuring, scheming, or training that our family takes pride in.
Nightingale's tired eyes moved, not focusing on anything in particular.
I haven't thought about the Demiurge in quite a while.
She shook her head.
I wonder how Kufu is doing.
Yarr!
Do you think he even knows I'm God?
Shayla shook her head.
He followed you from Earth, didn't he? I'd be surprised if he isn't hot on our heels. Yeah.
Nightingale stared out over the crags. The sky was a bright orange, and it was hard to think she was witnessing a whole city burning to the ground only moments ago.
After confronting his Shadow Lord, traveling to the Eyrie, facing Alana and the Maluma, the Demiurge was going to be a breeze.
Fiend.
dun.
So that concludes Middara, the Unintentional Malum, Act 1, as well as our season, the very long season of Twitch Plays Middara.
Yeah.
Thank you all for playing along with us. It has been a ton of fun, a long, long story. I'm excited to wrap it up, but also sad to see it go.
Yep.
Khufu the pirate was referenced. Gyar.
Good old Khufu.
Good old Khufu. So I guess it makes sense then that Zeke's going for the dragon. They're just like, oh, a dragon's so much scarier than Hografar.
And Zeke's going to be like, poke, 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 you're dead, dragon, you're dead.
Shank, shank, shank. Shank, shank, shank. Shank the dragon. Do-do-do-do. Shank the dragon. Do-do-do-do. But yeah, thank you. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and more importantly, chat with us on our Discord channel where
we theorize about what's going to happen in the next act because this is quite a cliffhanger.
there wasn't a cliff.
We're on an airship.
There were crags and cliffs. Were you not listening?
The aggro crag?
Yes, the
Man clams?
crag.
What?
Man clams.
Yes, there were man clams. If you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Prime Gaming, which means you get
1 free sub.
how often?
But not a sub
Once a
sandwich.
What can you do with
One
it?
free sub per month. It
can
doesn't
sub to
auto-renew,
us.
so make sure that you go in and hit the button. And now it's not called Twitch Prime. It's called something else.
Prime
Prime
Gaming. I said it.
And doesn't listen.
No.
Nobody's
Are you
listening.
surprised?
I mean, Josh listened, which is
No, he
surprising.
doesn't. He already knew it.
Yeah, because I asked him. It's a shame that Prime doesn't come with a free sub sandwich.
Once they buy Subway.
For any of our subscribers that sub for 60 months continuously, so the 5-year mark, I will buy you a sandwich.
Okay.
They're still writing the next draft of Act 2, right? Lots of updates to Act 1.
I
Let's
believe
poke
so.
around on the site.
I think end of year 2021 is supposed to be the release date of Act 2.
Yeah.
So we've got some time.
The updated version of Act 1 hasn't come out yet
Yeah.
and isn't expected till like Q1 of next year.
Yeah. But make sure you're joining us for all of our upcoming streams. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing our continuation of Twitch Does Dumb Shit in Kingdom Death,
Yep.
where we do dumb shit in Kingdom Death. Not as dumb as Zeke, though. Zeke's dumb. Like that, woof.
You love
when the update
him
comes out,
so
you're going to be
much.
so much sadder.
What happened?
When the update comes out.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna be slightly
My
sad.
weapons are going to be so fucking nerfed. Like, this build is going to go straight to hell. I'm going to have to respec it, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll find something else to break. Next week, Monday, we will not be streaming Middara because we finished. Just because of the holidays, we're probably going to take next Monday off.
Yeah.
But follow us on Discord. Join us on our Discord channel, and we'll discuss what you fine folks want to see coming up for more Twitch Plays content here at Twist.
Yeah.
Other than that, we do have a couple more spotlights in the pipeline right now. We just need to finalize some details on them. Again, join us in Discord. You'll find out when we're going to premiere those and when you should be joining us for all those fun things. In the meantime, though, Anne, is there anything that you want to say?
No, I really, really enjoyed this game. There's ups and downs. I'm excited to see the changes that they've made to it with the rules, and I'm really excited to see the next act.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a really fun adventure, and I'm a little like bittersweet that it came to the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of reading, but I definitely enjoyed the ability to be silly with some of the characters and see how the story progressed and stuff like that. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though, you know what's going to happen with Act 2 is Rook's just going to pretty much stop talking since there's an option of him dying.
Yeah.
So it's either a fly check to see if Rook's still alive or he's not going to talk like Severe and
He's going to be
Patrick
like
never
he's going to
talked.
be like Patrick where he
Yeah.
never talked.
he just
How do you know that there's an option in number 2 that he dies?
No, it was an option in this one where Rook sacrificed himself.
Oh, is that how the book goes? Though?
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't I know there's an option where he could sacrifice himself, or Saphir could sacrifice himself, but you know how it's like
Oh, no,
twist ending. He actually survived.
No, they
No, he
sacrificed
dies.
themselves. Yeah.
I believe Nightingale takes the pendant for Siri.
That's why it's asking if you had a different host as one of the flag checks,
Yeah.
because Nightingale takes the amulet.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
But that's it, folks.
That's all, folks.
Cool, folks. All right, signing off for now for Twist Gaming. I'm Matt.
My man.
Josh.
Nighty night.